Welcome to ABC's College Football, where today some of you will see the Ohio State Buckeyes try and bounce back from that disappointing loss to Texas as they host San Diego State. Others will see Pitt face Nebraska. Pitt off to a struggling 0-2 start. For Dave Wannstedt, Bill Callahan, the head coach of Nebraska, a couple of former NFL coaches go head-to-head. Others will see the Oklahoma Sooners and Adrian Peterson, who was terrific last time out after struggling in Game 1. But they'll face the UCLA Bruins, a revamped team. And in the ACC, a very important matchup. Clemson off to a surprising 2-0 start as they face the Miami Hurricanes. Can they beat them 2 years in a row? John Saunders, Craig James, and Aaron Taylor. We've got that one involving a team from Florida. We've got Florida State facing Boston College, 7:45 on ESPN. Of course, Florida facing Tennessee. So it's all about Florida today, and one of those teams, Miami's got a tough one.
So what you're saying, there's a lot of options out there.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of football to watch out there. I like watching Miami and Clemson. How about Clemson? Charlie Whitehurst at quarterback last year had 17 interceptions. This year he has nada. That's good news for Clemson, and he'll have to continue that today because Miami's defense will get after his fanny. They just need to play from their quarterback. Kyle Wright has to make some plays for him. And how about Ohio State? Somehow they've got to get Ted Ginn involved with that offense. Special teams somewhere, he needs more touches with it.
Yeah, and we got a good ball game out west, guys, that feature a couple good running backs. Adrian Peterson, whether or not he's cutting class or cutting on a dime, he's somebody that makes his presence known. On the other side of the ball, UCLA has Maurice Drew as a grandfather, unfortunately passed away. He should be running with passion today. Then you take Pittsburgh against Nebraska, two teams that are struggling, trying to get some moxie back to them. Pittsburgh offense been struggling. Greg Lee, Tyler Palko, the quarterback situation. We're going to have a very tough time against the black shirts who are playing very well. Corey McEwen has done an excellent job. 3 sacks, 20 tackles all over the field, running around the black shirts. If Nebraska's going to turn around, it's going to be on defense, not offense at Callahan.
Most of the time, though, when you talk about moxie, that means you ain't got no talent. You're just trying to go with pride.
By the way, if anybody shouldn't be talking about cutting class, it's the guy at Notre Dame down there. We will see you at halftime. Enjoy the kickoff coming up.
The great pageantry of college football here at Ohio State in the famous Horseshoe, with some 105,000 fans on hand here, hoping that their Buckeyes are going to be able to get it turned around after the disappointing but still impressive game they played against Texas. Can they do it? San Diego State's going to be the opponent today. The band's on the field, the footballs are on the sideline, we're in the booth. We're ready for some football. We'll be back. Hang in.
Welcome back to the studio. Ohio State and San Diego State is coming up. Now, we talked about that disappointing loss to Texas a week ago. It's a game that Ohio State looked like they controlled throughout. How do you bounce back from something disappointing like that?
Well, I'll take Ohio State, and you can take San Diego State on this one here. I really believe Ohio State. Really, last week it had nothing to do with the quarterback rotation. They played against a very good, talented, speedy Texas defense. It was a game where whoever was at quarterback was going to make mistakes because Texas's defense was just all over them. But I think Ohio State is set up nicely right now to finish the season and make a run. If they play as well as they did last week, San Diego State's in trouble.
And we're switching sports a little bit, but today it's going to be a little bit of a layup against San Diego State. San Diego State's had their problems offensively, over 7 turnovers in the first couple games so far. Lionel Hamilton, their great running back, has yet to break 100 yards, and so that's going to be very challenging for them with that Ohio State defense that played so well.
Last couple of years, though, San Diego State has had some success in Big Ten. Not winning, but being in games. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at halftime.
The Ohio State Buckeyes were a precious few moments from knocking off the #2 team in the country before lightning struck.
A lot of time, throws in zone, cut, touchdown, Texas!
Today, the Buckeyes must turn the page. It begins at quarterback. Troy Smith regains control of a loaded Buckeye offense that includes game breakers Santonio Holmes and explosive Teddy Ginn Jr. For A.J. Hawk and the rest of the Buckeyes who still eye a BCS berth, the countdown begins today. College football on ABC. Welcome back, everybody. This is the famous Horseshoe, the home of Ohio State. The Buckeyes ranked number 9 coming into this weekend take on San Diego State. 2 very tough games. They have lost both of them. Can they perform the upset today? That's the issue, and will Ohio State be ready to take them on? With Tim Brad, I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome, everybody. Susie Schuster will be joining us down on the field. We talk all week long about the game, Texas and Ohio State. Ohio State, 2 quarterbacks, each played 7 series. Today, Timmy, that's not going to happen.
No, just one today. It's going to be Troy Smith. They made that announcement early in the week. I mean, it was done on Monday. Jim Tressel wanted to get it out of the way. When you have a guy like Smith at quarterback, you bring in a lot of mobility. He's an athlete. He's going to put pressure on the corners. But one thing you've got to watch, he's got to be disciplined. He's got to stay in the pocket and get all the receivers involved. And when you talk about getting receivers involved, you better be talking about Teddy Ginn. A lot of controversy here that he didn't get enough touches last week, and you better believe that is absolutely correct. Today, Jim Tressel wants to get him at least double digits touches. You'll see him in the backfield, in the slot, split wide, everywhere. Now, on the other side of the field, San Diego State is up against it, and it's going to fall on this young lad, Kevin O'Connell. You see the numbers for him. He's an accurate passer, but he's going to be blitzed today, a lot of zone pressure. He's got to read the defense. He's got to be calm, and he's got to be able to throw the football. Strong arm guy, but San Diego State, Gary, is up against it today.
We'll see whether or not he puts that football in the air a lot today. When he coached junior college, Tom Kraft was known as Aircraft because, in fact, that's exactly what they did. 14-22 at San Diego State, a program trying to get itself going to a bowl-bound season, but 0-2 coming into this one. Jim Tressel knows on the other side, in his 5th season here, they have got to sweep the table for the rest of this year if they have any hope at that #1 spot at the end of the year after that loss to Texas. But obviously, this is a very good Ohio State team, and while they may have lost that game by 3 points to Texas, that takes nothing away from the quality team we're going to see out here today.
Certainly one of the best in the country. In a game last week, they really felt like they should have won, could have won, and it got away from them. But talking to Jim Lachey, one of the former greats here, former Redskin, San Diego player, he was telling me this is one of the worst weeks he's ever seen Ohio State as far as practice goes. So we'll keep an eye on that early.
Franklin and Amaral are back to receive the kick. Josh Houston does the kicking. Ohio State won, and they have deferred. San Diego State doesn't mind. They were going to take the football anyway. That'll be taken deep in the end zone and down there. And so San Diego State will be starting at 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. That's how they'll open up the game, and it's really going to be interesting to see what the offense looks like. Susie Schuster on the field with us today. Susie.
Hi, Gary. Legendary Ohio State coach Woody Hayes once said, "Attitude defines a team, not rules." And nobody exemplifies that better than senior linebacker A.J. Hawk. Coach Jim Tressel said he is the lifeblood of the team, whether it be in meetings, whether it be in practice, during games, during the weight room. And he added that the whole team looks up to him as a leader. And I asked Hawk, the Centerville, Ohio native, why he maintains such a high level of excellence, and he did say that he grew up dreaming of playing in the shoe. This is what his whole life's been about. His career is coming to an end.
Down the line to the 30-yard line on the first flat pass. San Diego State is a touchdown. 80 yards. 80 yards. We talked about this yesterday, the day before. This morning when we came in, Timmy, we said if San Diego State is going to be in this football game, they need to air it out probably on the first series. They didn't even wait. It's the first play.
I'm guessing, partner, that Jim Lachey was right. He said they were licking their wounds all week in practice. They were not really focused like an Ohio State football team, and it shows here. 80 yards, 11 seconds, and he takes it to the house.
That is Brett Swain, a sophomore who plays when they have the 4 wideouts, and that is how they started the game as Kevin O'Connell hit him in the flats. They'll go for the extra point. Michael Hughes is out there, and a stunned Horseshoe here in Columbus, Ohio, as the point after is up, and it is no good. He missed it wide to the right. So you start out the first play with an 80-yard touchdown reception, and then you miss the extra point. But it is a 6-0 lead, and the Aztecs, they could not have scripted the beginning of the ball game any quicker or any better than what they got here.
Well, he just went with a high percentage play. Brett Swain is out wide, and he gets it to him in a hurry. He gets down. Now stop it there, and you see, look at the running lane he's got right down here. I mean, this is as clear as it goes. Bam. See ya. 80 yards, 11 seconds. Poor coverage by the outside. You can never let anybody get outside of you. The cornerback on that side cannot let anybody wider than you are. You've got to use that sideline as your ally.
Looked like the corners and safeties were on that blitz that time, Timmy, from Ohio State, because once he got 7 yards downfield, there was nobody back there.
But number 21, Nate Sally, then becomes the corner. He's got to slide out whenever the cornerback goes on the blitz. Sally's got to take the widest is the wide, and that's his guy.
Amazing start. Amazing. It was exactly what everyone had talked about in San Diego State trying to do early in this ball game. and they take the 6-0 lead. Michael Hughes on the kickoff, and that's something else we're going to see because Ohio State can run the football back with Holmes and Ginn. Taken by Ginn. Ginn, one of the great returners, will be taken down at the 25-yard line, and that's something we thought the Aztecs would do as well. That's put their kickoffs on the ground to try and nullify the big return.
And Schillen's a wide receiver, made the tackle on Ginn.
So it'll be at the 25. That's where they'll start it. Let's meet the quarterback.
Troy Smith, Glenville High School, Cleveland, Ohio.
He was one of the two last week with Justin Zwick that each played 7 series for Ohio State. They've got the 3 wideouts going here. We will see a lot of that to the 25-30 and up to about the 32-yard line out of the backfield. Pittman's going to do a lot of running today. Let's take a look at our Ameriprise starting lineups. And you're going to see a lot of Ginn and Holmes. One running Ginn, the other Holmes. Will have a lot of receptions as he is on here today. They have a great core of receivers. Can't talk enough here about Mangold. He calls middle of the line. He is their leader on a strong offensive line. And they are veterans as well. Now up here with a 2nd down and 4. Again, they'll go with the 3 wideouts, and out of the shotgun, Troy Smith. Looking into the middle for the first down. Ginn's got it, so he handles it for the first time. That's Holmes, rather. Santonio Holmes, the junior, the split end on the reception. And Holmes has got enough for the first down. They throw underneath the defense of San Diego State. Domination on the field offensively is expected today from the Buckeyes.
Well, and part of the reason is because the offensive line averages over 300 pounds. Then you look down at the 3 technique, the nose tackle, and he's 225, he's 235. I mean, they outweigh San Diego State big time.
Holmes and Gonzalez are out there wide. It'll be carried up to the 40 and down to about the 44-yard line. Little room in the middle that time for the carry. Troy Smith is mobile, can pass and carry. Let's take a look at the Aztecs. They are really going to be tested. Applewhite will try and do the rushing today to get into that offensive backfield. There's no question their defensive line is outmanned. So are the linebackers. These are not experienced linebackers. They are young. They're going to have to rely on their quickness today to be effective. And in the secondary, look for Grigsby and Mays in particular. They're not particularly experienced back there, but they do have, again, speed. A 2nd down and 5, and that's not going to go anywhere. Good tackle made by Donnie Baker. The junior moved in on Antonio Pittman, the sophomore runner.
Donnie Baker's now made 2 tackles already. He's really fired up. That time they brought him off the corner. He came in untouched to make the stop. So far, it's been a good game plan for San Diego State.
How about coming out of the chute? What do you think? A 6-0 lead for San Diego State. Wow, that's just phenomenal. All right, we got 4 receivers as Holmes and Hall have both come in now. It'll be a 3rd down and a long 5. They've got 3 receivers to the left side. Again, out of the shotgun, Troy Smith, the junior quarterback. Only 2 coming, 3 coming over the middle. That's caught. That's going to be taken down at the 38-yard line. Roy Hall working out of the slot. Plenty for the first down for the Buckeyes.
Joe Martin makes the tackle, and one good thing, although the Buckeyes are moving the ball rather effectively and Troy Smith looks sharp, but you're seeing a lot of white jerseys get around the ball. Here's your linebacker 51 on the right side of your screen. Now here's the catch, but watch, white jerseys everywhere. If they run to the football like that all day, eventually something's going to happen. They haven't had many turnovers, but that's one of their keys today. One of their goals, they want to force Ohio State to turn the ball over.
White and Pittman are both in the backfield now as they have the 2-man backfield. Goes 2nd through. First tackle missed, and that's going to be back into Buckeye territory. Good rush put on, a 9-yard loss as Pittman trying to turn the corner over there. Couldn't get by. That's Antoine Applewhite, who we talked about. If he has a big day, he'll be in the backfield a lot today.
And he's not a big guy. He's 235, but he's a leverage guy. He'll get head up on you. He'll use that body, that quickness, and that leverage. I mean, if you look at the right side of the screen, 93 is Applewhite, keeps his outside leverage, comes up and forces the play backwards, and then pursuit takes him down. Nicely done.
San Diego State has lost to UCLA 44-21 and Air Force last week 41-29. San Diego State's been able to score, but San Diego State's defense, they have been pummeled in another test today. A 2nd down and 18. A slot each side. Look for the option pass here. Instead, it's held onto down the middle. That is going to be incomplete. A lot of running, a lot of movement. Flag is down. maybe an interference call as Troy Smith put that one pretty much on the money.
It's going to be unnecessary roughness because that ball wasn't catchable. And that's exactly what Tom Kraft is telling the officials. There he is. He's out on the sidelines. He's saying, hey, that thing's over his head. It's not catchable. And so they'll confer. You know, you make a good point here about San Diego State giving up a lot of plays to UCLA and Air Force, a lot of scores. But they've allowed 9 plays of 22 yards or more, total of 343 yards. Almost 50% of the points they've given up, and the yardage has come on big plays. So they've got to keep Ohio State in front of them all day.
There's no foul in the play. The ball was uncatchable. No DPI. The ball was uncatchable.
So Tom Kraft wins that argument.
Nice argument. Well done, counselor. Take a look. It's about as uncatchable as it gets.
Boy, I don't know from that angle. Oh, are you kidding me? That's why we don't have striped shirts on.
All right,
I'm just telling you what the argument was.
I understand. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long yardage again. It's going to be 3rd and 18. 4 receivers again as they flood the wide side, which is the near side. Smith looking, wants to go deep, airs it out in the middle, incomplete. Wide open was Roy Hall again, but that pass was short.
What's wrong with this picture? San Diego State comes out and goes 80 yards on one play for a touchdown, and now they've stopped Ohio State. You don't think there's a hangover from the Texas game?
I'll tell you this much, there are some headaches right now at the Horseshoe. I don't care if it is early in the game. This is not the way the Buckeyes wanted to come out.
And we've heard a little bit of that already from the fans, but it's a situation where San Diego State has not done much defensively except zone.
All right, it'll be Pasio back to do the kicking. He'll kick it from about the 40. Deep is Michael Franklin for San Diego State. Fair catching at the 10. Puts it away. So good defensive position for Ohio State after that 40-yard punt. But the surprise, an 80-yard touchdown play to start this game. A little flat pass, Kevin O'Connell to Brett Swain, and see you later. A 6-0 lead. On the San Diego State touchdown, Kevin O'Connell, that's his 3rd touchdown pass of the year for Brett Swain, his 1st receiving touchdown of the year. Then, irony of ironies, they missed the extra point. That's why it's 6-0. We'll start it out on the 10. Swain is in there. There are 4 receivers. Keep an eye on Jeff Webb, number 19. They'll be looking for him. O'Connell takes the rush. 3 on him. Dumps it out to the sideline. There was a receiver near. And a flag is down. That's Marcus Green. And Mike Kudla putting the pressure on for the Buckeyes.
It's going to be holding against San Diego State.
These are some of the problems that are almost inevitable for San Diego State today, because there's no question, talent level wise, size wise, Tim, it's the Buckeyes who have a huge advantage in this football game.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. You know that this is one of the youngest teams in the nation too, but we'll find out how patient their fans are, because there is some talent there. They're just undersized and right now very young.
Yep. Got the call.
Holding on the offense, number 71. It's a distance of the goal from the previous spot. Still 1st down.
Be to the 5-yard line.
Here's our guy right here. Now watch Rouser as he just reaches out and grabs and actually makes a tackle, pull down.
Good tackle.
Yeah.
Watch him lose an offensive line.
Him and 8.
All right, at the 5 now for a 1st down and 15. 2 wide sets, slotted to the right side. O'Connell. And it is going to be Air San Diego. Back to the original line of scrimmage and a couple more, as that one ended up in the slot. So they get back to where they started from as Hamilton out of the backfield got it. We're going to check in with what's going on. John Saunders. John.
Gary, the Taco Bell update. Iowa with that loss to Iowa State a week ago, now facing Northern Iowa. Albert Young, 10 yards, just bowls his way into the end zone as Iowa has grabbed a 7-0 lead. Gary.
We're looking to get into Big Ten play and put some wins on the board. Going to be here on a 2nd down and 8. Flag down far side, and the takedown at about the 14-yard line. That's Schillens, the sophomore flanker. Let's see what the flag was over there near the reception. Well, we wondered whether or not the Aztecs were going to throw. They're throwing, but they're also putting a couple of penalties up that are hurting them here on this drive.
But I'll tell you what we haven't seen. We haven't seen them go with the no huddle, which we will see eventually. And that's a way to keep the defense on its heels. They think they have an advantage
Illegal
if they go to that.
formation on the offense. They only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage at the snap. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
And for the Aztecs, Timmy, that can happen with this club because they run so many formations and try and do it so quickly.
You know, you're right, Gary, and you see that on all levels. I mean, you see that in the pros a lot because they run a lot of different formations.
They are putting the ball in the air, though, and you've got a passing down coming up here. It'll be a second down and 13. The ball is at the 7-yard line.
And here's where you have to be disciplined. You cannot turn the ball over. You've got to be smart with the football.
Brandon Bournes has come in as a 4th receiver. Keep one back. Linebackers not rushing. A draw up the middle, back to the 12-yard line. Brandon Bournes, he is a power runner, voted the most improved in the football season last year offensively for the Aztecs. Nowhere near the first down, though. 3rd down and 8. Let's meet the quarterback for the Aztecs.
Kevin O'Connell with Costa Canyon High School, Carlsbad, California.
And he's got a burden today. See the numbers he has put up. Last year started the last 5 games after being the backup quarterback. Tom Kraft now's got the call out. It'll be a 3rd down and 8 at the 12-yard line. 3 receivers near side. O'Connell, a quick drop. He's got a lot of room over there. Man open at the 25, and at the 26-yard line it is a first down. Jeff Webb, a primary receiver. Nate Sally brought him down, a 13-yard gain. Wow. Let's take a look at the Ameriprise starting lineups, and it is a surprise right now. There's Hamilton on the left of your screen. He will do a lot of carries today. Primary weapon. You look at the offensive line, they're going to be tested. They've got to be quick. They are young. Grombowski, Rozier, they're on the strong side on that right guard and tackle position. If they're going to run, that's probably where they'll go. Brandon Bournes is in the backfield. Split end to the right side on the 1st and 10. Bournes to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be about it. Trying to run up the middle against this Ohio State defense will not be easy. Marcus Green moved in and put the hit on. This is a very big Ohio State defensive front end at linebackers. Let's take a look at what they've got there. You see Green's already been involved. He and Petcock will clog up that middle. Their linebackers are experienced, can move. Hawk is an All-American, back as a 3rd-year starter. Chance to talk about him today because he is something else. You already seen Nate Sally. You'll see these cornerback safeties moving in on the blitz. 2nd down and 10, no gain. O'Connell back. He's trying to set up a screen. Ohio State read it. He's in trouble with a 20 and steps out of bounds at the 21.
See, and that's not a smart play. He's outside the tackle box. He's got to throw that thing away. There's another flag down, which I think is going to be holding against San Diego State. But O'Connell, you mentioned that he started the last 5 games last year, but then had shoulder surgery, missed all of spring ball. So he's an inexperienced guy, sophomore. He's got to throw that away. He cannot run out of bounds and take a loss there.
And again, the pressure being put on by the defense creates another San Diego penalty.
On the offense, number 71. That penalty's been declined. 3rd down.
San Diego State having trouble controlling those charging linemen for Ohio State. San Diego State in their first 2 games had only 7 penalties. It cost them 56 yards. They've already had 3 in the first 2 drives, and 2 have been holding calls.
Aztecs also led Air Force last week 10-0 in the first and had a great first quarter against UCLA. But then they kind of folded down the stretch. Not enough depth.
3rd down and 15 out of the shotgun. Kevin O'Connell, 4 receivers in. He likes to pass on the run. The option play gets shut down, and he is down at the 25-yard line, not even close to the first down as Dante Whitner moved in to put the hit on.
But again, that was a good decision by the quarterback. It was the shotgun option, and the pitch man was covered, so to keep him was a smart play. Watch the all-22. The first thing they want to do is just come on down the line. Out of here, he's just going to go like this, and here's your pitch man. Now you start running it, and you see the guy take the outside pitch man away, so he keeps it, which is a very smart play on his part.
Michael Hughes will come on to do the kicking. He is 9th in the country, averaging 45 yards a kick over the first 2 games. And Holmes and Ginn are back. Do not let them return it. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. And he does it extremely well. It bounces out of bounds down near the 20-yard line. You can't ask for a much better punt execution-wise, because if Ginn or Holmes gets a hold of it, they're going to run that thing back. A 55-yard kick, no return. When we come back, the quarterback was taken over for Ohio State. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chevy. The new Chevrolet is an American revolution. ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader. And Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. Great to have you with us. Great shots overhead. Our Goodyear blimp on hand. Goodyear and its associates around the world encourage you to help the relief effort for victims of Hurricane Katrina. You can call the American Red Cross 1-800-HELP-NOW or visit the website at redcross.org. The help is still and will be needed for a long time. Keep that in mind. Smith's got two receivers set far left side. First down at 10. Rolling that way, looking for the out pass. That'll be completed at the 29-yard line. Just shy of a first down. That's Anthony Gonzalez, the sophomore split end, who hauled it in.
Put Gonzo out there and let him run under where Ted Ginn had evacuated that area. He got out of that area and left it open for Gonzalez.
4 receivers we'll hear a lot from, and the spot does give them the first down. So a 10-yard gain on that, so make it a 1st and 10 for Ohio State. Great 55-yard punt put up there to send Ohio State back. You're going to see the kicking game's very important today for San Diego State to keep the football away from, on both punts and kickoffs, the return artists of Ohio State. Again, the 4 receivers are in. They'll work out of the shotgun, 3 to the near side. Quarterback Keat lost a helmet and goes down at the 35-yard line. Good tackle by Antoine Applewhite again. John Saunders keeping us updated on what's going on. John.
Well, Gary, Oklahoma and UCLA, misdirection here. Travis Wilson takes it, and then watch the speed out of a couple of tackles. Then watch number 28, Adrian Peterson. Bam! At the 10, a great block. Wilson goes 56 yards for the touchdown. Oklahoma leads 7-0.
UCLA out to that great start, John, 2-0. I would not expect anything more than Oklahoma to come out today and explode against a very, I don't want to say overconfident, but I think UCLA has played above its head with Maurice Drew.
Second down at 5, and there goes the clock. Boy, you know right now
to the snap. False start. Offense.
You know the Ohio State fans.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And their coaching fans are thinking about what was talked about all week, Timmy. Would they be down? Would they still be thinking about Texas in last week?
You know, it might even be deeper than that, Gary. This is an offense that's in transition. They're trying to get this spread attack. It really kind of kicked in midseason last year. It's kind of sputtered. But ever since Maurice Clarett left, they have not had a tailback really pick up. And quite frankly, the spread offense against Miami was very effective. It was not that effective against Texas. And the fans are waiting for this offense to wake up and explode and let the light go on.
We're still not sure. The team is not sure what this offense really is yet. Played to the near side. Look at the great coverage on the turn back. Ginn, he's handled it, but what a loss. All the way back to the 12-yard line. And again, it was Antoine Applewhite who held that far side, would not give him the room on the sideline, and turned him back.
Teddy Ginn's first offensive touch of the game. And when you look at what they're doing with him, they're trying to just take him out of the short slot and reverse him. But again, there's containment by Applewhite on one side, Kahui on the other. A lot of pursuit, white jerseys everywhere. Great job defensively. And again, that's Ted Ginn's first offensive touch of the game.
Loss of 7 yards on that play. A 3rd down and 18. 3rd down and 18 out of the shotgun. 2 receivers near side. They're looking. They flood it down the middle and caught in an immediate tackle at the 25-yard line on Holmes.
And listen to the Boo Birds
booing. Marcus Demps moved up the free safety. And the one thing that San Diego State talked about was pursuit and tackles. They're doing it.
Well, they're playing a lot of zone, and they're playing it well. They're giving up the receiver. They're communicating defensively. They're letting them know when somebody comes into their area. Holmes came into the area. They had him. They had Ginn deep. And when he got out of that area, they had somebody come into that area and pick it up defensively.
The freshman, A.J. Trapasso, is back. It is a very short kick. It will take an Ohio State bounce big time. And finally will be down at about the 23-yard line. So it ends up being a 49-yard kick, with a third of that coming on the bounce. But the bounce so far in this game on the very first play has been San Diego State's touchdown that has put them ahead 6-0, and that's where it still stands. Columbus, Ohio, on the campus of Ohio State University. Back to work with Hamilton in the backfield. The Aztec offense now. O'Connell flares it out near side. And a lot of people to run through to get to the 24-yard line. Right there is Jeff Webb. Let's get out on the field, and a familiar face, Susie Schuster.
Yes, I'm with San Diego legend Coach Corey Allen. What did you think of that opening kickoff return for touchdown?
Hey, I thought that was great, of course. I'll tell you, Coach Kraft has really been doing a good job with this young team. The whole staff and all the players are really together and wanting to win.
Gary?
What a history, and what a great man. Out of the shotgun, there's that flare pass. And that'll be taken at the 26-yard line. Hamilton on the reception, and a good hit by Whitner. Susie?
Now you, of course, Coach, are the commander-in-chief of Air Coryell. What do you think of aircraft?
I like him. He's my favorite coach right now. The only team I really care about are the Aztecs, Coach Kraft, his staff, and those players.
All right, thanks very much, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Gary, back to you.
Great boost for the team, isn't he?
He really is, and he's got to like what he's seeing out of Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback, who is perfect so far. 5 for 5, and they've got 108 yards total offense against the Buckeyes 37.
This is going to be a 3rd down and 8 out of the shotgun. O'Connell's quarterback draw, trying to get to the first down, turning it, not going to get there, out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Kevin O'Connell, he's a big kid at 6'6", 220 pounds, a sophomore, but he just couldn't get around. Ubutu was out there, and Ubutu put the hit on.
He's trying to read the outside guy, and he just sees there isn't any hole. Now he's trying to get to the sidelines and take it up to the chains, but there's A.J. Hawk, 47, with great pursuit. I'll tell you, he's one of the best linebackers in the country without a doubt. He runs all over the field.
An All-American returning for his 3rd year as a starter. Hawks. Here's the kick from the 25-yard line. Holmes again back, and again trying to prevent the return. Holmes has got it. He can fly. Couple of blocks. This is where they're tough. Up to the 40-yard line and driven out of bounds.
And a flag for a late hit out of bounds.
That kick too direct. Kraft not happy about the call, but Holmes, he had 109 yards in kick returns. And down on the far side at San Diego State, he's got the injured player, a 40-yard punt and a 34-yard return.
And Joe Martin has had a pretty good first half, too.
Personal foul on a defense for a late hit, number 21. Penalty 15 yards from when the run ended. First down.
Getting up very slowly and looks pretty woozy down there. As you can see, he cannot even stand on his own right now.
Take a look at the top of the screen. There he is, and what a block right here by Hall. And then the hit out of bounds, of course, is something that's just a mental mistake. Once he's on that sideline, let him go.
Sure looked like he was knocked out for a moment there. He did not move after he went down on the field.
Martin's had a good first quarter, too. You hate to see him go out. He's a little woozy. Oof. But he's really been aggressive in the first quarter.
Great field position. Ohio State getting it on the return. That's what San Diego had hoped they were going to be able to stop in this game. It'll be a first down and a 10. Ball's at the 20-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side for Troy Smith's shotgun. He's in the option to the 20, and he'll be taken down at the 24-yard line. He didn't think about flipping that one off, as he had defenders between he and his running back. Gasso moved in and put the hit on the leader in tackles for San Diego.
Well, what a great job by Keogh, too, the middle linebacker, to run over there and make that play.
Want to remind you, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, a donation of $1,000 to each university's general scholarship fund.
Are you surprised they still have not gotten Teddy Ginn into the game? I mean, 1 offensive touch for a big loss.
It just seems they're so unsure of exactly how they want to spread this ball out. There he is. Ginn is out there on the near side, and he's probably going to have double coverage. 2nd down and 6 out of the shotgun. Handoff's going to go straight through the middle, and only about a yard. There's just no room there. Pittman, the sophomore, ranked 49th in rushing in the nation.
And Donnie Baker again with his 3rd tackle of the game, coming off the corner and chasing it down from behind. Great play, but at the end of the play, he caught the foot and it tore his helmet off, and he's got a bloody nose right now. But watch him trail this thing down from the backside. There goes his helmet. Great pursuit, terrific effort. He comes up with a bloody nose for it.
Now they're trying to get Pittman out of there as they make the change, and a late one at that. They did not use a timeout there. This is going to be a 3rd down and 4. 3rd down and 4.
I got it.
I think they got to use a timeout here.
Well, Baker's sitting there bleeding. He's got a bad nose.
First one and a half.
Doesn't even have his helmet on, and they wouldn't stop the game for him. So eventually they had to call a timeout.
There he is coming off the field. And that's a break for Ohio State because they had got a late change in and weren't really ready to run that offensive play. Now they'll have a chance to talk about it.
To be brutally honest, Ohio State is just not in sync. 8 rushes, 8 carries, 7 yards. That's not Ohio State football.
And they're going up against an Aztec defense that on the season in the first 2 games has surrendered 231 rushing yards.
And given up 40 points or more to UCLA and Air Force.
I mean, they're just... San Diego's defense is ranked 101st of 119 teams in rushing, 112th of 119 in pass defense.
Now, with that said, it's a long game, and you suspect that eventually talent will just wear out San Diego State, and Ohio State will win this thing. But right now, they just they still have a hangover, we said earlier, from the Texas loss. I mean, Jim Lachey told us before the ball game they've had a poor week of preparation, and it's showing.
31 seconds left to go, and the longer you let a team like San Diego State stay in it, the more they're going to become believers that, hey, maybe we can. They have lost twice to Ohio State in the past, but the last time here was only by 3 points.
Here's a problem, though. You have Baker is injured, so he goes out of the ball game. They bring Eric Hodge in, and he's a senior but still inexperienced.
3rd down and 4 for the first down. Ginn is on the right side now. They've got split to the left. Smith's going to run it to the 5. Touchdown! Yes! Ohio State's in. Nick Mangold led the blocking on a 14-yard TD run.
Boy, just zone blocking, and they walled it off. Great block by Mangold to get the linebacker, which freed up Smith for the touchdown.
Go for the extra point, which right now can be the lead, and Houston, who is a great kicker, puts that one up and through, and they've got it and take the lead. So Ohio State goes up 7-6.
Here's the guy that throws the key block, and then he's going to come right here, and he's going to follow him in. There's Mangold, takes out the linebacker, Kealo. Troy Smith follows him right up. The middle's open then, and he scores.
Drive took 20 yards. It was set up by that 35-yard Holmes punt return, and then the roughing penalty, the hit after the whistle that gave them great field position. So Smith, the quarterback, will take it in for the TD. For Smith, he has had only 13 carries and 46 yards prior to this game. That's his first rushing touchdown of the season. San Diego made a mistake. They let one of the great returners carry that ball, Holmes, on that last kick, and that cost them field position and ultimately the touchdown.
You know what's amazing to me is you've got so many of those skilled guys on offense. I mean, you've got Smith who can turn it loose anytime. You mentioned Holmes. We've mentioned Ginn. Then you look at some of the other guys like Roy Hall or Gonzalez, and even Hamby for that matter as a tight end is very athletic. He's a move the chains kind of tight end. So, and there's so much talent there. They just aren't getting everybody involved and just aren't really running that offense effectively.
7-6. Ohio State has got the lead. Josh Houston on the kick will put that one out of the end zone off the fingers, and that's where it will be whistled. So San Diego State again will have to start it at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Troy Smith taking over as quarterback and putting one in the end zone, his own power. Monday, ABC Sports, ESPN, and the National Football League join to help the victims of Hurricane Katrina. It'll be a Monday Night Football doubleheader. Throughout the evening, there'll be a special fundraising telethon going on. At 7:30 Eastern, the Giants and Saints. At 9, Redskins Cowboys. With the conclusion of the Giants Saints game moving over to ESPN, those of you in New York and the Gulf areas will see the Giants Saints in its entirety. That's all Monday. It starts at 7:30 Eastern. First down and a 10. Carry up to the 25-yard line for Hamilton, where Hawk hits him.
Great start for the Saints. What a great story that was last week, with the Saints pulling that thing out at the very end and winning that with the field goal. And then they come into that game 1-0, and the Giants come in 1-0, and the Cowboys and Redskins, another good ball game, both 1-0. And that one down in Dallas. I'll be there for that one.
Good starts. A.J. Hawk moving in. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week last week, and that's going to do it here in the first quarter. And surprise, surprise, San Diego State got on top. An 80-yard touchdown pass 11 seconds into the game. Their first offensive play of the game, but Ohio State has come back to take the lead after San Diego did not kick that extra point. 7-6, first quarter concluded at the Horseshoe in Columbus. Number 9, Ohio State taking the lead on that touchdown at the end of the first quarter for Ohio State this season. They win against Miami of Ohio, and then they lost to Texas last week. San Diego's got the 1st and 10. It's kept near side O'Connell trying to turn the corner. Great pursuit and out of bounds. On a 2nd down at 5, no gain there. Jenkins a good play defensively. Let's check up on some injuries. Susie.
All right, Gary, some Aztec updates. Joe Martin, the linebacker, he's done for the day with a concussion. As for Donnie Baker, they cleaned up a cut above his eye. He was bleeding, though. He will be back in the game. No problems with him.
Boy, hope that concussion is not severe, as he took a real hit and unable to get off the field without some help. Big 3rd down play here. 3rd down at 5. The Aztecs deep in their own territory at the 25-yard line. 3 receivers set wide to the left. O'Donnell straight drop over the middle on the short side. That's going to be incomplete. Threw into a lot of coverage on the near side. Sally got in as Webb got. He's a primary receiver, and he had triple coverage.
Well, Ohio State may have gotten away with one there. They were riding his back all the way across the middle. But it was another one of those passes that had been tough to catch, even if he had been left alone. O'Connell was looking at him all the way, turns to the right side. I mean, they were just riding him.
Just bounced that one. Holmes and Ginn are back. Michael Hughes will try and keep it away from him. Kick coming from the 15-yard line. Puts it up in the air, taken at the 28-yard line. This is where they make yardage. Good tackle is Holmes. Devereaux on the sideline, and Terrell Mays moved in to get him a 9-yard return after a 46-yard punt. When you are punting or kicking off to Ohio State, you hold your breath, because if you don't get it right, they could be in the end zone. When we come back, Ginn, how many will he touch today? We'll see.
Allstate presents Good Hands Flashback. Last week, Brody Croyle and Alabama found themselves trailing 21-10 late in the first half against Southern Miss. Tyrone Prothro's miraculous reception over the top of Southern Miss defensive back Jasper Falk set up a late first half touchdown and turned the momentum in favor of the Crimson Tide and helped propel them to a 30-21 comeback victory.
Here at Ohio State, a block from behind and a late flag at the end of that last play against Ohio State.
Big break for San Diego State. San Diego State's starting offensive position has been right around the 18-yard line. For Ohio State, it's been up near midfield, so this penalty now pushes them back, and they start at the 23.5.
First down and 10. Troy Smith gets the tap on the back from the man in motion. Looking up the middle, he's got a receiver wide open near side. That'll be complete at 40, 35, and all the way up to the 47-yard line. As Ted Ginn came across the right for a 23-yard gain, there was nobody near him.
How do you lose Teddy Ginn? He's the guy you've got a key on. Watch him. He just goes down about 10 yards, skinny post, sharpens it off because nobody's covering him, and just drives across the middle, and the whole way he's yelling for Smith to throw it to him. They just lost him in the zone. Nobody picked him up.
Ginn had 7 receptions, 84 yards coming into the football game. He gets a first down at 10. Ohio State near midfield on this one. Straight ahead and just bruising ahead is Pittman before Cahill put the hit on. He'll gain about 3 yards on that one. 2 quarterbacks used last week by Ohio State. Smith's the starter this week. This is last week.
Certainly a lot of empathy for Justin Zwick. He started the first game against Miami. He was sharp. He earned the start against Texas. In the Texas game, they worked both these guys in and out. We talked to Jim Tressel. He said, well, I was doing it on gut feeling. This is the numbers they came out with. So, you know, it's not something he's got to live with. I mean, that's college football. He came in with a lot of accolades out of high school. Troy Smith a little bit more athletic. He's the guy, and he told you he's going to be the guy the rest of the year unless something happens.
He's dropping back deep, man wide open again in the middle, thrown near side and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That is Santonio Holmes, their split end great receiver. He has caught at least 2 passes now in 22 consecutive games, 25 on this one.
I want you to watch this move. Just runs by him, doesn't see anybody around him within 10 yards, and just squares up, looks for the ball. I mean, again, it's soft coverage, and even in a zone, you've got to be aggressive. You cannot give a guy 5-10 yards to make a catch, especially when they've got skill like Ginn and Holmes.
Holmes will go out wide right. Pittman is in the backfield. 2 receivers near side, including Ginn again, who's the wide set. They roll near side on the pitch. Inside the Pittman goes up to about the 14-yard line. Antonio Pittman, a gain of 8 yards on that, and now you're seeing the Ohio State size come into play here blocking wise.
You know, we talked about the Ohio State running game has not been a force since the 2002 year when Maurice Clarett ran for almost 3,000 yards and 31 touchdowns and got the national title. Well, now all of a sudden you've got Antonio Pittman. He didn't have the kind of freshman year that he wanted. He worked on things overtime, gained 10 pounds of muscle, said that he's ready to go now. And this offense spreads you thin defensively and creates running lanes.
Hamby in the tight end. A lot of room in the middle. Pittman finally, as the cornerbacks move in, will take him down at about the 12-yard line. But it's going to be enough for a first down. And Ohio State will have great field position here and a first and at 10.
Different kind of offense for the running backs now at Ohio State. And, of course, Pittman joins a long list of starting tailbacks here like Archie Griffin and Eddie George and Keith Byers and Robert Smith. And they think Pittman can be that kind of running back. And now you spread the field wide and create running lanes through that defense by going sideline to sideline. He'll have plenty of opportunities. He's a young guy that said he got beaten down in the Big Ten last year, but now he's stronger and he says he's ready to go.
First and 10 at the 12. Used to be 3 yards and a cloud of dust at Ohio State. Now it's 3 receivers and the ball in the air. This time it'll be taken to inside the 10-yard line. Troy Smith on the carry. Not a lot of blocking out there as Brett Stern moved up to put the hit on. And we'll check in with John Saunders. John.
Gary, Oklahoma already on the board against UCLA, but the Bruins coming back. You want to see a nice pass? Drew Olson just rockets that one in 19 yards to Andrew Baumgartner. And the Bruins have come back to tie this with 7 apiece. Meanwhile, Michigan State through the air. Notre Dame has not been able to stop them. 14-7 now. Spartans are up there.
Many believe that game today is the biggest test for Notre Dame thus far on the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then last week they said that about Michigan was the biggest test on, and Pitt before that. So I mean they've really kind of taken on the challenge and excelled.
Second down and 6. Pittman on the carry. Just moves it ahead with his lineman out in front that time. Kurt Barton is doing the blocking, and he just ran right up his backside, and it'll bring up a second down, a third down rather. See where they spot this. It'll be spotted at the 3-yard line.
Where power just takes over that offensive line with Daddish and Sims and Mangold. Downing and Barton just too big for that defensive line and just overpowering down here in the red zone.
Pittman getting his chance to carry here. Hamby, tight end, has come in. Johnson is in. Schnitger is in. Short yardage. 3rd and 1 with the ball at the 3. And right at the goal line, pounded it back. Brandon Schnitger on the carry. His first carry of the day, the senior. And a little pushing and shoving going on at the goal line. They'll be shy of it, but they will have a first down.
Schnitger's one of those guys. He's 6'2", 250 pounds, former fullback. They moved him over to tailback in the spring. They promised him he could go there if he lost some weight. He did, but he could have used the extra weight when he got down to the goal line. There's no way he should have gotten stood up there. Watch this. Now just bull your way in there. Oh, he had a guy on his feet, but good pursuit by San Diego State to make that stop. But it's, you would think, just a temporary thing.
They'll pack it in with the tight ends here. Schnitger still in. Second man through. Schnitger. And a fumble, and it's recovered by San Diego State.
Whoa.
Donnie Baker right at the goal line, and watching the officials to make sure that plane had not been crossed. A great job by the defensive front.
What a game Donnie Baker's playing. A 75-yard drive to the 1, and it comes up empty. Here's the pit. Look at the the line play. Here he is right up by the line. It looked like he lost the ball as it was right on the line.
Wow, did he cross the line or not?
It looked like he was into me.
Video replay may take a look at that one. We've got a timeout. Ohio State's 6th fumble of the season, 3rd they've lost possession of. It was very close as to whether the runner had broken the plane before the fumble.
Watch the ball, though. You will see that he's bobbling it when he gets it to the line. Didn't have possession when he got to the line of scrimmage, or the goal line, rather.
San Diego State gets the football and a big turnover. Ohio State swarming on Hamilton, who tried to go left. Marcus Green, who's been involved in 3 or 4 tackles already. But San Diego State got the football back, and Ohio State's chance, 1st and goal from the 1.
Take another look. He's going to reach toward the goal line. And here comes the football right there. And it's out. So he was bobbling it when it got to the goal line. That's a good no call. It was a fumble. San Diego State got it.
Wow. Ohio State, even though they've got a 7-6 lead here, this is not what they had been anticipating. This is going to bring up a 2nd down and a 10. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line. A little room at the 10 to the sideline and out of bounds. Kevin O'Connell's looked to run the football a few times here today using his size. That time found a little maneuvering room. He's going to be shy of the 1st down by about 4 or 5.
You know, talking to him yesterday, he said he's a very mobile guy. He's thrown a touchdown pass in 8 straight games, but he says if they give me an opening, I'm going to take it. And here's a guy that's 6'6", 220, so he almost moves in sections, but he's very athletic for that size. And he picks a pretty good game there.
And he didn't seem overwhelmed with the fact he's playing here either. He was a redshirt when they came here 2 years ago.
I think he was excited about it.
Yeah, he really was. Gets a chance at it as the starting quarterback this year. A 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5. You saw 1 for 4. 3rd down conversions, and there's a whistle. The official on the far side charging in. There may have been a timeout called by San Diego State.
San Diego State. 2nd 1.5.
They got it from the sideline. 7-6. Ohio State leading, but big play. First play of the game. San Diego State 80-yard touchdown pass. They get another big play. Ohio State fumbles. 1st and 10. 1st and goal from the 1. And as a result, San Diego State's amazingly in this ball game. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Nissan, who reminds you to shift the way you move through the world. Aflac, ask about it at work. IBM, become an on-demand business. IBM can help. And Napa Auto Care Centers, Napa, the good stuff. Speaking of that, Goodyear and its associates around the world encourage you to help the relief effort for victims of Katrina by calling the Salvation Army at 1-800-SAL-ARMY or on the internet at salvationarmyusa.org.
San Diego State scored on the first play, 80 yards, but since then only 42 yards and 1 first down.
A 3rd down and 5. San Diego State out of the shotgun. Kevin O'Connell back, screens it to the near side. Ohio State's right there and dropped at the 10. Great read, and that's A.J. Hawk again. One of the best defensive football players in the nation, number 47.
Gary, and all of a sudden you have the feeling that Ohio State is starting to wake up. Watch 47. He's reading, he's got his keys, now it's just pursuit. Nobody even blocks him, and he comes across and makes the tackle. He's got great vision, he runs sideline to sideline. He's got great athletic ability for a linebacker. Just inside out, tuck that tail, sky those eyes, and drive him right to the ground.
Dangerous situation here. The kick coming from the end zone. They're trying to bounce it, but it's a line drive at the 45. Holmes and will return it. We'll see where the spot is as the ball ended up out of bounds and a little extra activity on the sidelines.
How do they not throw a flag on Ubodi there?
Terrell Mays moved in to put the hit on Ubodi, got into it way over in the Ohio State bench area. No flag on it, so it'll be a 35-yard punt, a 13-yard return, and Ohio State again will have outstanding field position, 1st down and 10. 8:42 left to go here in the half. San Diego State rising to the occasion.
But you can really feel things changing now, and the fans starting to feel it as well. Another great situation for the Buckeyes. They've got great field position, and when you put them down here, it's like running downhill. They get down in this side of the field. Great advantage.
1st down and 10. Again, the 3 wideouts are in to work out of the shotgun. Troy Smith, zone coverage, fakes, looks, He'll carry it to the near sideline and is taken out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Good defensive coverage in the secondary that time as nobody was open. Now time for this week's Aflac trivia question. 5 times a one-loss team has played in a BCS title game. Who were they? And applicable because that's what Ohio State is hoping is going to happen this year.
I think I've got the list.
You got the list?
I know I did the national championship with one of those teams, and I think I know the others.
Well, they slid it under the door on a piece of paper last night. You ought to have it.
See, now, see.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
My partner.
I'm sorry. All right. This is a second down and 7. Smith's got 119 total yards, rushing and passing. Over the middle, fakes it, avoids the hit on what would have been a big loss, and gets it back to the 25-yard line. He had a big hole for a minute. Reggie Grigsby came up from the strong safety position to put the hit on.
You know, this is one of the things that they're concerned about with Troy Smith. You know, the last play he missed Hamby, who was wide open. This time he had a quick out on the right side and didn't throw it. Instead, he runs out of there. Now, there's no question he's got athletic ability. There's no question he'll make guys miss. But they want him to get everybody involved. He cannot make a living doing that. Just take your step, go to your receiver, and hit him.
Well, Ohio State starting with great field position here now. An important 3rd down for them. They've got a 3rd down and 2. With the ball spotted at the 25-yard line. 2 receivers on the short side. It'll be run this way on the fake option. That's going to be good for a 1st down and a whole lot more. Down to the 11. Troy Smith on the carry. Doug Dadish working off left tackle. Led the blocking and a 13-yard gain.
He is special, I'll tell you that. 6'1", 215-pound Troy Smith. And he's out of Cleveland, Ohio, folks. This guy is an athlete. Watch this. Smart, too, there. With a good move, good cutback, breaks 2 tackles, and into the secondary. That's the safety, Demp's number 21. You saw make that tackle.
High school football coach was Ted Ginn Sr. and a Michael Vick fan. And Troy Smith now has the job as the starting quarterback after 2 quarterbacks had been used last week. And Zwick started game number 1. It'll be a 1st down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. Stan White in motion to the right, looking, deep drop at the 7. It is dropped. That happened last week, and unfortunately it's Ryan Hamby who had it happen to him then and now.
Hamby dropped that touchdown pass against Texas. Actually got some hate mail. I mean, people were really vicious. And here again might be coming psychological because this ball's right in his hands and he drops it, and then the crowd responds. Take you back. Here it is against Texas. I mean, it's right in his hands for the touchdown. He makes that catch and they win. And everybody in the state of Ohio will not let it forget about it.
It has been tough. Jim Tressel told us he had to call him in and meet with him just to try and settle him down and let him know, look, it's okay.
I'm out San Diego.
Yeah, but that's easy to say. But for a college player to be receiving the kind of vitriolic comments and mail that he got, that's not easy to.
And totally unnecessary. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, we're out of control with our talk radio, with our bloggers, and then to start sending hate mail personally to guys at this level is crazy at any level.
San Diego State University has used their final timeout. Ohio State's got great field position. They have the lead. 7-6 with 7:10 to go in the half. Great look at the horseshoe. Overcast day. Great for football, though, as rain went through yesterday and some last night. Field's in great condition. Aztecs came out, got a little workout yesterday afternoon. The Ohio State band gets a little workout just about every Saturday here at home.
Aztecs had to dodge the tarp.
Trying to get the tarp out while the Aztecs were out there. All right, Ohio State University up the middle. They're going to be brought down at the 7. That is Maurice Wells. Now, what's happened here is Brandon Snitker, who fumbled at the goal line, had been coming in on these line sets for short yardage. He's not playing anymore after that fumble, and Wells has taken his place.
Schnitger's a senior. He turned it over, so in comes the high school parade All-American, who in high school had 55 touchdowns and 6,000 yards. He's got that Florida speed, Maurice Wells does, and Jim Tressel says, all right, we're going to put him in. We're going to give him a shot, see what he can do. He's a talent, no question about it.
Against Texas, Ohio State had enormous problems in the red zone. They've already had it again today. This is the 3rd down and 4. Well inside the 20. Again, the pitch to the near side. And Wells is taken down at about the 3-yard line. So Maurice Wells on the carry.
That's one of those situations. You give it to the freshman inside the 5. He sees that goal line. His eyes get big as saucers. He's saying, hey, here I come. Watch this now. Here's the option. Get it out. Here's Wells. Here's the freshman. Sees the goal line. Oh, but he didn't see the pursuit coming, and so he's down inside the 2.
Another great chance for Ohio State as they get the first down. Ball officially is at the 1-yard line. It's about 1.5 actually. And again, Wells is going to be in there with Stan White. Wells digging. And I think that's whistled before he can get a little help from behind, although the pushing and shoving continues on. San Diego State here at the goal line on these last 2 drives. They put some pretty good heat on the runners of Ohio State.
Jonathan Bales right in the middle. He's a 6'1", 310-pounder. So they try to penetrate and establish a new line of scrimmage a yard deep in that Buckeye backfield. And then comes the pursuit. See 46 here, Russell Allen, and you see the safety, 21 Demps, all coming in to help out. Seemed like a long time before that whistle blew.
A long time. They let a lot of pushing go on there.
I'd just let Troy Smith take it on the quarterback sneak here.
Second down and goal. Wells is the second man.
Go back!
And that's not enough.
Should be. Quarterback sneak. He's got it, I believe.
No sign yet. There's no sign. There it is. Touchdown. Troy Smith takes it in. A long time to get there, but he got it.
Looked like they went to a 4-3 defense, which means nobody's over top of the center. That's why I said they ought to run the quarterback sneak. Troy Smith saw it as well, ran the sneak, and he gets in. See, there's nobody over top of the center. They tried to shade the center and squeeze in, but by that time, Troy Smith's too fast. Just gets low. He's got those powerful legs and score.
So he's got his second touchdown of the day, both rushing. Josh Houston comes on to kick the extra point. It is up, and he's about as sure a foot as there is kicking-wise in college football, and he puts that one through. So Smith with a couple of touchdowns today. He is 9 for 53 in the rushing department, 9 carries, 53 yards. Long time on the call as the officials waited to find the football.
You look at this. Here's your alley right here. This is what he's reading. There's nobody there. Quarterback sneak. There's no way this linebacker can get over in time to stop Smith. He's too much of an athlete. Quarterback sneak. Bam. Jam it in there. That linebacker's got to come up and stop him before he gets 1 foot, and it's not going to happen.
A 32-yard drive that took 8 plays, and Ohio State goes up 14-6. There's our Nissan drive summary.
8 plays, 32 yards, 3.5 minutes, and the 1-yard touchdown run. Now we saw him go 75 yards once before and get down inside the 2 and not get any points.
Now San Diego State's got to find a way to get their offense going here. Josh Houston will come on to do the kicking. Franklin and Amaral will be back. The touchdown scored by San Diego State University on their very first play, the very first play of this football game. An 80-yard touchdown pass. But since then, Ohio State's defense has risen to the occasion. They've not had a chance to return a kick. They set the wall up, taking it to 4, 15, 20, and about the 22. Justin Amaral on the return for San Diego State. So their field position starting-wise has been tough today. Earlier, our Aflac trivia question. 5 times a one-loss team has played in a BCS title game. Who were they? Timmy knows.
Well, I certainly know Nebraska because that's the game I did, Miami, Nebraska. And if you look at the rest of them, there's LSU and Oklahoma in 2003, Florida State and Florida State.
That's our Aflac answer. You knew that.
Yep. Got the paper under the door.
O'Connell to Swain, that early touchdown. Smith a 14-yard run. Smith a 1-yard run. And Ohio State with the lead. Back to work, Kevin O'Connell. Whoa, no, nothing there. Back to the 15-yard line. Mike Kudla moved in the defensive end. Tom Kraft, the coach of San Diego, said he is the most overlooked lineman or member of the Buckeye defense. Number 57. Kraft wishes that wasn't so right now. He's not overlooked. He got into the backfield, threw him for the loss. Not going to run against Ohio State, I don't think.
I would think now, Gary, it's time to go to that no huddle. Try anything to get them a little bit unsettled defensively.
2nd and 13. O'Connell on the handoff.
Right now, they're just teeing off.
And Gang tackling Pitcock moved in, number 90, Quinn Pitcock, a junior right tackle, and everybody joined in. Coming up with the Valvoline halftime show, we'll be joining John, Craig, and Aaron. Today's highlights, first-hand account from the LSU Tigers, whose amazing fourth-quarter comeback against Arizona State last week inspired a lot of people in Katrina territory. That's all coming up. All right, third down, 3rd and 11. Ball is at the 20, and on the snap, the flags go down.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Still third down.
As a coach right now, Tom Kraft's got to be thinking everything's starting to go wrong here. We got off to a great start. We wanted that. But all of a sudden now, Ohio State is shaking off the cobwebs. They've gained momentum. They're taking control. And defensively, he's given them time to get into their coverages. Last time they lined up in a cover 2. They adjusted. They went to a cover 1. He's got to change this up somehow, and he can do it with his no-huddle attack, but he's not done it yet.
The Ohio State defense feeling very confident. O'Connell in the pocket. Big rush. Avoids one. Great coverage downfield. Looking into the middle. It is caught. Caught at the 27-yard line by Chillins, the flanker, the sophomore flanker. And a nice job by O'Connell to get out there and find some room.
But not enough for the first, so they're going to have to turn it back. And again, Ohio State will have good field position.
We'll check in with John Saunders. John.
Gary, in the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT update, Miami facing Clemson. Charlie Whitehurst, nice pass, 8 yards. The Cole Downer, 7-3 is the lead, and Clemson's marching again.
Wow.
A little surprise there?
Yeah, I really am surprised. I saw Clemson against Maryland pulled it out at the end. Pretty strong team.
Michael Hughes, line drive kick. Boy, do you get into that one. That will go out of bounds at about the 15-yard line as Hughes, who is 9th in the country in punting average, will add to it right there. And let's check in again with Susie.
Well, Gary, you spoke about the freshman Maurice Wells. He sure liked the feel of the ball. You should see the grin on his face. And let's also talk about Ryan Hamby. Now, we talked about getting into his head. He told me he did not believe that this would be a mental issue, but he was sitting by himself on the bench, very much alone, really trying to figure out what's going wrong. Now, this offensive line did look shell-shocked after that red zone stop, but they've got their confidence back. You're going to see this old Ohio State feeling, that confidence coming back on the field right now.
Yeah, Susie, you can see it offensively and defensively. This is Ohio State now, and they know that they're starting to take this ball game over.
58-yard punt. So it's going to be spotted at the 14-yard line. Out of the shotgun again. Troy Smith, who's both passed and rushed well today. Double clutches. He's got room up the middle. He takes a shot from behind and from the front. Fafita moved in. Siasi Fafita put the hit on number 92, a freshman. There are the numbers for Smith.
Impressive numbers, and this is what Smith does for your offense. See, with Justin Zwick's one of those pocket passers, you know he's going to get into the rhythm of the game and just get everybody involved in quick throws. But with Smith, if nobody's going, he's tucking it and he's running. You need to have him accounted for. Right now, they need a spy on him. He's running a lot.
A 2nd down and 4 in the flats. That's going to be incomplete. He had the open receiver on the far side, but just underthrew that ball. He was going for Ginn. Ginn Jr. was open over there. Couldn't come up with it.
I think Teddy Ginn's starting to get a little frustrated, too. Came out of the Texas game with not many touches. That was the talk of this week. And now he's out there, and they skip the ball to him like a shortstop. And he's saying, come on, what do we have to do to get the ball in my hands? Jim Tressel said he wants him to have double-figure touches today, at least 10. Love to have 15. So far, it's 2.
We're seeing what Jim Tressel talked with us about consistency, Tim, in the offense. They have great plays, and then the very next play, the simple plays not converted. And that's what they're trying to get out of. Find some consistency in these stretches. Out of the shotgun, crisscross near side, 25, and hit it on at the 27-yard line. That is Hamby, and listen to the crowd.
And the crowd goes crazy with Hamby catching it.
That's kind of unfair, too, but better than the booze. 9-yard gain.
And give Teddy Ginn a lot of credit on this. This was a rub-off, and Teddy Ginn clears it. He comes right off Ginn's hip, and he's wide open.
Hamby is a senior, big kid, 6'5", 225-pound tight end. Hamby gets the reception that time, and it's a 1st down at 10. Clock running with 1:49 left to go here in the half. Troy Smith again out of the shotgun. 2 wide to the right side. Holds only 1 in the backfield. Over the middle. That'll be caught at the 35-yard line, but Ginn's not going anywhere after that. So he's already up the 2 receptions and 9 yards that he had against Texas in this game, even if he's not close to the double digits yet.
This is a great catch by a great player. It's not a great thrown pass. Watch, it has velocity. He reaches out. That's a fingertip catch. Right now his fingertips are going to start blistering. That's why he's wearing those gloves.
Ohio State uses timeout here to stop the clock with 1:34 left to go, as they've got a second down and long yardage coming up. Interesting football game, as Ohio State fell behind early and have had to regroup in this game, but it does look like, as Timmy said, that's what they're doing.
Gary, let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary if you're just joining us. Boy, San Diego State came right out of the gates on the very first play. They said, hey, we're here to get your attention. Kevin O'Connell out to Brett Swain. 11 seconds into the game, Swain takes it 80 yards for the score, and it was deafeningly silent in the big horseshoe here. Then the defense cracked down, and Troy Smith offensively took over. This was his touchdown run, 14 yards. And all of a sudden, Ohio State was back, awake, and ready to rock and roll. Since that, the Aztecs have not really had the ball outside their own 30, haven't really been in contention.
See, 18 yards rushing, 114 passing. Ohio State with the 86 rushing, and they're up to 100 in the passing department. 1:34 left to go here in the first half. From under quarterback, near side, and that one incomplete. You can't really blame the receiver. Those throws are very low, and these receivers like Hamby, who are 6'5", it's a lot of reaching down. It'll be incomplete. Coming up, the Valvoline halftime show. John, Craig, and Aaron standing by. The highlights, first-hand account of those LSU Tigers and that fourth quarter comeback against Arizona State, and a look at all the day's activities. And we are about 1:30 away from the half here in Columbus.
Even though that wasn't really a good pass, well thrown ball, I feel badly every time it goes in Hamby's direction and he doesn't make a catch.
And you know he's feeling that, right?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
6 out of 8 on third down. This is a 3rd and 3, and that one is caught, but not enough for the first down, and the clock will stay running. Good defensive play, Reggie Grigsby, as he took Hamby and got him out of, well, not out of bounds, just took him down.
And a great one-handed catch by Hamby there. Not a well-thrown ball here either, but if you look right here at the bottom of your screen, here he is, goes up and makes a great catch, knocks it back to himself. He never really got his momentum going to get the first.
San Diego State just wants to keep it right here. I mean, they'd love the turnover, interception, get the ball back, whatever, but if they can go in with a 14-6 deficit, they are not going to be totally unhappy. I mean, they are severe underdogs here in this game. You see the fire of their defense. Ohio State would like to be able to move it up at least to field goal territory. They'll have to punt it. It'll come from the 32-yard line. It'll be handled back by Michael Franklin. Gets to the 29, and that's as far as he's going to go. So it'll be Ohio State's ball after Sergio Wells moved in and put the hit on. A 38-yard punt.
Still haven't gotten outside the 30-yard line.
But we're talking about where they're starting from. 20-10, 23. I mean, those are tough back on their own 7. So the best they've had, their own 23-yard line here in the first half.
And the flip side of that is Ohio State has had great field position the entire game.
So Ohio State defense is probably their strength at this point of the season. Off the handoff to the 30 up to about the 33-yard line goes Hamilton. He's their leading ground gainer. The man they look to out of the backfield, only a sophomore. He's 69th in the nation in rushing. Lionel Hamilton, but Ohio State knows that, so their linebackers are keying on him, and he hasn't had any room.
And it puts an exclamation point on what you were saying. Just a safe play, handoff, run the football, let time expire, go into the house, down 14-6, and that is a win for San Diego State.
They've kept themselves in this football game. Tom Kraft, who inherited a very tough schedule to be played with tough teams on it early, has had to, over the past couple of weeks, see some very good football teams against him, but his San Diego State team is growing to the occasion, and right now they've left themselves a chance in the second half with a big play or a turnover to have something to say about this football game. So we've completed a half. Ohio State leads it by a score of 14-6. We'll be updating you on all the activities and all the other games coming up after this message.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Well, it started out as a surprise as Kevin O'Connell making the start for San Diego. First play of the game, Brett Swain. 80 yards later, a touchdown. They missed the extra point, but the Aztecs had the lead. But Ohio State's talent bound to show through. Troy Smith getting the opportunity to start at quarterback. 14-yard run touchdown. 1-yard quarterback sneak for another, and A.J. Hawk is just that on defense. The All-American involved in the tackles at Ohio State bounces back from that first play deficit to take the lead at the halftime. Welcome back to Columbus, everybody. Ohio State leading San Diego State 14-6. Ohio State ranked number 9, but Timmy, it was an interesting first half and a surprise beginning for the Buckeyes.
Well, it was. You said that San Diego State needed that early success. They got it. They gave them that shot in the mouth, but Ohio State came back, and when they did it with Troy Smith. He was spectacular in the first half. He gives the defense something else to think about. He can run. He got that 14-yard touchdown, and this is it right here. It was the option out of the shotgun, and they didn't even lay a hand on him until he got inside the 5. He's got 59 yards rushing. Then you look at what he's done passing. He's over 100 yards passing in 9 of 14, and he scored the touchdown on the quarterback sneak because he read what the defense was doing. So he's played a very, very solid first half. He had good field position, but he really led the Buckeyes, I thought, with an impressive offensive juggernaut there and running that attack pretty well.
San Diego State only a couple of first downs, including, of course, the long run. They've got to find a way to control the football some more, obviously, in the second half.
I agree with that, but you've got to give the San Diego State a lot of credit defensively. I mean, it just seemed like they kept coming up with big plays. Here's Schnitker gets down by the goal line. The ball is bobbled. Donnie Baker comes up with it. Big stop there. They were bending but not breaking. They were making big plays. This defense, even though Ohio State had the ball for more than 18 minutes of that first half and dominated time of possession, the defense wouldn't break and held them to 14 points.
And we are underway here in the second half. Ohio State gets it. Ball taken at the 8-yard line and up to the 32. And this is what Ohio State has started to do last season and continued to do this year. And that's on these punts and kickoff returns. Run them back. Susie Schuster down at field level. Susie.
Well, Gary, Tom Kraft looking for some energy at right tackle. Will Robinson will start for the second half. As for his defense, he says they're keeping us in the game, and Jim Tressel agrees. He says they're keeping up on the edges and we can't run the reverse. That'll be the big adjustment you'll see from Ohio State in the second half.
All right. It is San Diego's defense that has done the job. Can they continue to do that? And Ohio State now with first possession's got a chance to extend that lead.
Well, I think San Diego State's got a problem there because of depth. I think a lot of these guys are going to get worn out. Again, Ohio State had it 18 minutes of that first half.
Troy Smith, Pittman on the handoff. He dropped the football and picked it back up. Wow. He got nailed by Marcus Demps, who has had a heck of a football game for San Diego State.
Again, not the start that you want if you're Ohio State. Looks like the play's setting up nicely. All of a sudden, Pittman looked like he lost his step. I mean, it just slipped on the turf, and when he did, the ball was bobbled. Watch his funny step right there. Boom. Just slipped on the turf. And, of course, that gave great penetration for Marcus Demps, the safety, to come up and make the tackle.
Good job to hold him. Pittman had 8 carries, 21 yards in that first half at the 40, 45, and driven out of bounds at midfield. Roy Hall. Hall is noted as the backup for Holmes and the 4th man in on a 4-wide set. He's been effective in this game. He gets 20 right there.
Here, let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary, and it looks like this. Again, we talk of time of possession, and you see 18:35 there for Ohio State. You see the first downs, 2 for San Diego State, 11 for Ohio State, and they're just starting to take this ball game over.
Hamby comes in, the tight end, as they get the first down and move into San Diego territory. Ball at the 49-yard line, out of the shotgun. Troy Smith, who has gone the distance here for Ohio State. Pittman on the carry up the middle. And that's where San Diego's held tough, and surprisingly so. Gain of a couple. Donnie Baker again in on the tackle.
Well, I love the way the Aztecs play defense, and they do it with pursuit. You know, Jerry Claiborne, our old defensive coach at the University of Maryland, used to say half of defense is wanting to play it. And these guys really do want to play it. They do it enthusiastically. They get to the football. Everybody tries to get a hat on the ball, and that's been impressive.
Defensive coordinator sending the signs out. This Ohio State team needs to get the turnover here. Roy Hall stays in, a 2nd down and a 7 for Ohio State. They slot it to the near side with 4 receivers, including a couple of backs. Out of the shotgun, flooding the zone, crisscrossing, no room. Big hit coming, avoids it. Smith gets away from 2 tacklers, gets over to the 40, and is finally downed at the 34-yard line. A 12-yard gain on what could easily have been that much of a loss, and Zwick watching Smith do the running at the quarterback position today.
All right, well, first of all, he's looking at Teddy Ginn, and Teddy Ginn was open, but then he pulls it down, and by that time it's too late. So he's got to run, and that's where he is special. He never gives you his entire body to make a hit. Just tap dances across the line and jitterbugs and moves, and he's got great lateral movement.
He's had 11 carries and 71 yards rushing, as well as a good passing game. A first down and 10. That's a very big play. Wells gets hit as the helmet goes flying. So the youngster who came in, Maurice Wells, the freshman, Keaho moved in to put the hit on the middle linebacker. He's having a day he won't forget, as he got the opportunity after Schnitger fumbled at the goal line.
33, Freddie Keaho just made his 12th tackle of the game. He's had a phenomenal ball game so far. He's running everywhere. He's playing his heart out, and he's been spectacular. That right there was a picture-perfect tackle.
He's taking over the linebacker position after being a running back originally. It'll bring up a second down and 8. 2nd and 8. Ohio State moving into the middle. Smith is down inside the 25-yard line. He is making an enormous difference in this Ohio State offense today with his running game. He's going to be their leading rusher.
And I think everybody that plays them from here on out really has to account for him like they did last year. A lot of times you'd see they'd have a spy, they'd have a linebacker or a safety who's just following him around. They've got to do that now because he's feeling so comfortable running the ball, and they haven't had the great success that they were expected passing the ball. Everything has been run or pitch.
Troy Smith getting the start today and moving the ball on the ground. They knew that their bigger offensive line would be able to move the San Diego front, but we're concerned about San Diego's linebackers making plays. First down and 10 at the 24. There's the pitch. There's Wells. Wells cuts back inside and will get up to the 20-yard line. Nice cutback by Maurice Wells. 5'10", 190-pounder, not particularly big, but you got to believe those are the kind of plays that he will shine on in years to come here.
Well, and back to Troy Smith for a second. Everybody knows he was suspended for the bowl game, suspended for the first game of this season. And then last week against Texas, well, they couldn't really. I mean, I guess you could have started him, but Justin Zwick did everything they asked. You had to start him. It wouldn't have been fair not to. You put Troy Smith in there. It was controversial. Everybody said, how did they alternate quarterbacks in a game like that? Now Troy Smith showing what he can do when he gets the start, his first of the year.
Second down and 6. Shotgun ball caught. No, incomplete. That one just bounced high in the air. That was Roy Hall cutting across. And we asked Jim Tressel yesterday about that, Timmy. If, in fact, the suspensions had not happened to Smith last year, would he probably have been the starting quarterback this season anyway? And Jim Tressel said yes. But because he was suspended for last year's bowl game and the first game of this year, he had to make the change. And I think that's really probably the only reason they ended up with 2 quarterbacks in the last game.
Oh, I agree, because Troy won the job last year and was on a pretty good roll going into the bowl game when he was actually suspended.
A third down and 6. From the 21-yard line, quick look in, and it is enough for the first down. Anthony Gonzalez, the sophomore, on the catch, and a 1st and 10. So Gonzalez joins the catching parade today.
How about this? Right before the snap, they jumped up into an odd man line, head up on the center, but watch him bail out of there and get into pass coverage. Watch this. See, now he's going to drop out and try to get there, but he's a second late. He was in a 3-point stance, couldn't get back. The ball just off his fingertips, and it becomes a completion for Ohio State.
7 out of 10 third down conversions in the game for Ohio State. They've got a first down and 10 on the pitch near side. 10-yard line. A good break to get it out of bounds. That took some second effort in order to move it through. Applewhite moved in on Pittman on the hit. Maurice Wells up there on the block. Applewhite's had a very strong game.
And again, it's Smith that puts the pressure on. All of a sudden they run to Smith, and there's Pittman. And you've got to give Smith that attention, but when you do, it's going to open up things for the running backs. Look at the body language of these guys. San Diego State guys all now starting to put their hands on their knees, put their hands on their hips. Their heads are hanging. They're sucking wind. They're a little bit winded, undersized, and trying to battle here. And they've been on the field a long time.
18-15 time of possession first half for Ohio State. 18-15 to 11-45. Big difference. That's why that D is so tired. Pittman again in the middle. There's a tackle and a big one made. That's going to be the defensive tackle, Kuhui, who moved in and put the hit on. Kurt Kuhui, a senior who had 7 tackles against Air Force for a career high.
There again, you've got the offensive line that's over 300-pound average for Ohio State. And then you've got these guys like Kuhui. He's 6'1", 250. You know, so they are undersized, but what they're doing is they're shading to the shoulder and shooting the gaps and coming through and using their quickness to make plays like that.
And again, Ohio State struggling a little bit when they get into that red zone area. Troy Smith is carried on these situations. He's got 2 flankers near side, 3rd and 4th. The Aztecs 7.
Big 3rd down.
Out of the shotgun, looking for the slant. Almost going to be incomplete and almost intercepted at the 1 by Brett Martin. Timmy, Ohio State can't find the series of plays they want in the when they get into this red zone to try and get to the end zone.
No, what they've done so far is just, you know, you've got more athletes and better athletes. You're right. They have not found the rhythm. They haven't gotten in sync. The offense hadn't kicked in. And although it worked well against Miami of Ohio, it really stumbled last week, and it's doing the same here.
Josh Houston will try a 25-yard field goal. 5 for 6 in the field goal department against Texas last week. His kick is up, and he's got strong legs. That one is good by a lot. And Ohio State increases their lead 17-6. But credit the Aztec defense. They hung in and again denied them the touchdown. Ohio State settles for 3. Next Saturday, ABC's regional doubleheader kicks off at noon Eastern. You'll see either Ohio State and Iowa, or Colorado, Miami, 3:30, Notre Dame, Washington, or Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. West Coast, USC, Oregon at 4. Pacific, check your local listings for the game in your area.
USC, Oregon, everybody's looking forward to that. They think that's going to be a good one.
All right, we'll see whether San Diego can find a way to move the football now, as Franklin and Amaral are deep. Distance kick again. Boy, what a foot. Puts that midway back into that end zone. And again, there's no chance for a return. So again, San Diego State, with that foot of Houston, is forced to start on the 20-yard line. It started well since then.
Look at this. 80 yards on the very first play, 11 seconds into the game. The next 19 plays, only 55 yards, 1 first down, and they haven't started a play outside the 30-yard line yet. Their own 30. That's not a good thing.
No, that's not. Very tough field position for this team that has racked up 400+ yards in each of its first 2 games. Kevin O'Connell. Trick plays, maybe. They're in the book for this team. O'Connell moving it in the middle, open at the 30. That ball is dropped. He had an open receiver right at the 30-yard line near the first down marker. And it's a bad throw, and Swain couldn't handle it.
That's a play right there where he was a little bit unsure of himself. He looked to the right, then he saw the guy clearing and coming over right there, and he kind of just pulled back on it. Wasn't committed to the throw. I'm surprised they aren't running more no huddle. Hurry up offense. Try to get Ohio State on their heels. That's what they like to do. They like to go without the huddle and just use hand signals, and they haven't done it.
And he is 7 out of 9 in the passing department. 2nd down and 10. Fakes the handoff. Big rush, blocked right into him. O'Connell at the 15, looking over the middle, throws back complete. It'll be at the 27-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but Robert Ortiz, who had not caught one, gets one there. The seniors now had a reception in 24 consecutive games.
Yeah, but if you watch this, again, he's running for his life. He thinks he's going to get there. He almost pulls it up. He's thinking about throwing it away here, but all of a sudden, again, throws back against his body and makes a 3rd and short rather than a 3rd and 10.
A strong arm right there. 3rd down and 3. 1 out of 6 in the first half. 3rd down conversions. Fakes the drop. Big rush. Blitz is on. He's going to have to carry this one himself. Nope. Dumps it. Incomplete. Very strong coverage. Schillen's on the near side, and a good play by Malcolm Jenkins, who stayed with him. He's the nickelback.
And a true freshman. I thought he got there a little bit early, but no flags. That's always a good play if you don't draw a flag.
I was waiting with you.
Watch this now. They look like they're in a man press. They run a little rub off. Now watch and see if he doesn't get here just a little bit early. Kleiman is back too far to see, but no flags.
Bobby Carpenter put the pressure on that time. Hughes has 5 kicks averaging almost 47 yards a kick. Has made a big difference and has kept it away from the return artist, and he does again there as it goes out of bounds. Good job again by Hughes. Without that punting, Ohio State would have had a lot better field position and maybe more than that lead they've got right now. But they've added a field goal, 43-yard kick, no return. Smith back to work at quarterback. Holmes the primary receiver when we come back. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. Allstate, a proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. And Singular, raising the bar. Goodyear and its associates around the world encourage you to help the relief effort for victims of Katrina. Contact the Federal Emergency Management Agency at FEMA.org. They need our help. Ohio State gets it back, first down at 10, 8:34 left to go here in the third. They come on the slant near side up to the 35, 36-yard line. That's Pittman on the carry.
So Gary, once again, San Diego State's offense had the ball only for a minute, 60 seconds. That's it. And all of a sudden the defense is back on there.
That's not much rest.
No, it's not.
And that is exactly what Kraft is fearful about. Pittman now with the 13 rushes for 36 yards. He'll stay out there on a second down and 4. And carry 40. He had only one defender to get by there, and he would have been off and running to the end zone. It'll be enough for the first down. A little help there. Donnie Baker moved in to help put the hit on. And you can see the wearing down process having an impact here in the third.
I was just going to say Donnie Baker is the guy, and here he is on Holmes. But now where he was making those tackles up by the line of scrimmage, they've got Holmes on him, and now he's making those tackles, almost catching those tackles 10 yards down the field. Big difference.
Freddie Keaho also in on that tackle. First down and 10 as they move up towards midfield, 49-yard line for Ohio State. Troy Smith fakes it, looking deep, wants the bomb, throws it. It's going to be intercepted, and he had a man wide open.
How about
at the 20-yard line? Donnie Baker, the junior, the interception.
Donnie Baker now, Gary, has 6 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception, playing a terrific game for the Aztecs.
And that's Ohio State's second turnover. They fumbled at the goal line, and now the interception, and the Aztecs will get it back for a 1st and 10.
Look at the all-22, and you see, all right, there's the play action to the right of the screen. Donnie Baker is over here. Now watch, he just plays center field. The ball's overthrown, they're in zone coverage, and he throws it right to him.
Watch that receiver on the right. Look at that. Oh, again, wide open. So the Aztecs get it 1st and 10, but they got to do something with it here. Carried up and out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That's Hamilton. A.J. Hawk, they figured there'd be a twosome today with Hawk looking for Hamilton.
That is their best starting position of the ball game, and that's their first time that they've gotten more than 4 yards on first down, if I'm not mistaken.
So they get
other than the first play, which went 80 for the touchdown.
There is Smith over there watching, and not very happily so. 17-6, Ohio State on top. San Diego State with the football. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Ball at the 36-yard line. 2 receivers looking for the look in, the slant. Wants to come back to the middle. Not much room there. Not enough for the first down. Takes it up to the 41-yard line that time. That's Jeff Webb. We've not really heard from the key components of the San Diego offense very much. Webb receiver, Hamilton rushing.
Really a nice little play right there. It's almost impossible to stop. A little 3-step drop, throw it to him on the little skinny post right there, and bang. Move the chains.
24 consecutive games with that reception. It's a 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1 and a whistle. And not enough for the first down. Play will count. They did not get it. In fact, looked like a loss on that. That's one San Diego desperately needed.
You know, it was 3rd and 1. I don't understand why they took a play that would take so long to develop, turn and pitch it on a sweep.
Not with the rush that we have seen from Ohio State. This is going to force the punt. Kicking from about the 33-yard line. Watch here for the possible pass. We've not seen any of these trick plays yet. It's dangerous territory. Ball being snapped at the 39-yard line. It is a 4th down and 3. Hughes back. No trick here. Just trying to stay away from a return. It'll be handled at the 16-yard line, and great coverage. Ginn gets taken down, and a flag. You heard the whistle. San Diego State may get a big penalty tacked on here. It was DeMarco Sampson, a freshman, who got down there on the tackle. 45 on the punt and a -2 on the return.
First of all, it was a great punt, and it was great coverage. Then the umpire standing right there. The referee comes down, and the umpire standing right there, and the line back judge has his flag out. And I'm not sure. I think the crowd made that call.
Maybe right about that, because it was very late.
I mean, there's no question the two guys were tangled up. He had lifted them off to the ground.
After the play was over, personal foul on the receiving team.
Wow.
Number 44. Half the distance of the goal for the foul.
Okay. San Diego State will take that.
Yeah, on the receiving team, that's Curtis Terry, who got involved in the little scrum, and that's going to give the defense of San Diego State a chance to put on a big hold here with 5:55 left to go in the 3rd.
Terry Curtis called for the unsportsmanlike from the push from behind. Here he is right here. Now watch, he'll just come up and give a little shove, and you see the back judge right there. See the official? He's already waving it dead, and he's got his eyes right on the play and threw the flag.
That's costly. A 1st down and 10 for Ohio State. Runs up to about the 12-yard line. Got to get out of territory here as Antonio Pittman on the carry, trying to give Ohio State a little running room. Ohio State knows at this point they're letting this San Diego team hang around way too long.
You're right. You don't want to build their confidence, because they do have some really talented athletes. Not as many, but you don't want to give those guys a shot.
And it's been a start and stutter stop thing for Ohio State's offense here. At times looks like they're just going to blow San Diego away, and then they don't get big plays. A 2nd down and 5. They'll work out of the shotgun here. Smith with 2 receivers on the near side. Pittman again getting away from tacklers, but he'll be down at about the 15-yard line. And again, trying to run it out for some yardage. Pittman's trying to find some angles here, but it was a pretty good seal right there by the defense.
Got to wrap your arms. You got to grab cloth. You got to make sure that first contact brings him down, so he can't get 2 or 3 more and bring up a 3rd and short. Point you were making before, they're hanging around 17-6. See, they hung around with UCLA in the 1st quarter. They hung around with Air Force late into the game. Only trailed by 5 with 5 minutes to play. This is their best effort yet.
Ohio State hasn't scored a point yet in the 4th quarter this year. Out of the shotgun, 3rd down and 2 over the middle. That's complete. Will be enough for the 1st down, as Holmes made sure that he got to the 1st down marker, and it'll be spotted over the 20-yard line for a 1st and 10.
It's Antonio Holmes. He's only about 95%. Been playing with an injured foot since the season began, but he still has great speed. Here again in the zone, finds the soft spot, sits down, the ball's waiting for him. Nice throw by Smith, and it's enough to move the chains before Mays can get there and make the tackle. Good play as
Antonio Holmes working on his 100th career reception here in this game. He came in with 96. 1st down and a 10, again out of the shotgun. Pittman out of the backfield. They think they've got some room as he takes it up over the 25-yard line as Brett Martin moved in on the hit.
Coming into the ball game, San Diego State, which had allowed 9 plays over 22 yards or more, almost half of the yardage they've given up so far this season. They wanted to keep everything in front of them and alleviate or prevent the big plays, and they've done pretty much that the rest of the afternoon, or all afternoon.
After the play was over, personal foul against the offense.
Mercy.
Number 77. It'll be half the distance to the goal.
Another one.
The run ended. 2nd down.
That's Rob Sims, who is a senior and the captain of the offense.
These are 2 big penalties that have occurred here since Ohio State got the football. And it's going to drive them all the way back now to the 13-yard line, their own 13.
Ohio State with 20 plays this quarter. San Diego State only 6.
Wow. Second down. Down remains, penalty taken. Second down, 18. From under quarterback, fake it. Over the middle at the 15, up to the 20, and driven out of bounds is going to be Ryan Hamby. Hamby coming across out of that tight end position. That's where they found some room if they bring a receiver all the way across the defense.
He had all day to throw to, plenty of time, no pressure on him at all. Hamby cleared all the way across the defense, just outrunning Russell Allen, the linebacker. But you know, Ohio State's loss last week to Texas snapped a 36-game home non-conference winning streak, and it just took them a quarter to wake up, and they still don't look like they're in complete sync.
They've got another big third down play here. This is a 3rd down and 9. Looking for the out. Oh, that would have been a touchdown. Had that been caught by Donnie Baker, there was nothing but green grass and an end zone in front of him.
Oh, everybody in the stadium saw it but Troy Smith. And again, it's Baker. But look at this right here. Top of your screen. Great read. Reacts on the ball and does everything but catch it. It goes right through his hands. Look at this from behind, and watch his hands. Watch the ball. Oh, my. Right through his hands, or it is, as you said, a touchdown.
That'll force the punt from about the 10-yard line. Trapezio puts that one up in the air, and the fair catch will be taken at the 42. Well, Franklin, and another flag goes down, and more activity over on the Ohio bench side. Extracurricular, 36-yard kick. San Diego State's got some fire in their eyes right now, and they're standing right in the face of these Ohio State players, and that's resulting in calls.
Well, the crowd thought this was against San Diego State, but if you look at the players.
Personal foul on the return team, number 13.
And they were right.
15-yard penalty when the ball was blown dead. First down.
T.J. McKay, a freshman on that return team, got called for it. Not what they needed. San Diego State was actually going to get the best field position that they would have had to start a series from, near the 44-yard line. Instead, this ball is going to be taken all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Take another look at it. Watch the right side of your screen. Here's the end of the play. Well, I don't know. Right at the sideline, but game starts to get out of control a little bit, and the official's trying to reel him back in.
Back out of the shotgun. San Diego State back to work. 3 receivers left side. He's got a big rush on. Just dumps it. It's incomplete, but got rid of it. 26-yard line. Kevin O'Connell under tremendous pressure. Marcus Green, a very strong day of rushing the quarterback.
You know, this defense struggled at times last year. But to be fair, the defensive line lost 3 NFL draft picks from the 2003 team. I mean, Will Smith, Darian Scott, and Kenny Peterson. So you reload, you come in with guys like Marcus Green. He's a 5th-year senior, so it's not like he's a young guy. Just didn't get all the playing time some of those others did. He's a big-time player, 6'3", 305, and runs really well.
He's had an excellent game here today. A 2nd down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Again out of the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set. O'Connell looking down the sideline. That's going to be completed near midfield. Great tiptoeing job done on the sideline. That is Schillens, the flanker, the sophomore flanker. Nice catch and a 1st down.
Look at O'Connell. O'Connell gives him a big smile and a how do you do in a slap 5. He says, hey, great catch. I was throwing it over you. And he makes the catch. The bobbles, pulls it down, keeps his feet in. You only need 1 in college football. He got 2. But look at this. Tips it to himself. 1, 2, down catch. Move the change. Great job by Schillens.
Schillens gets a 21-yard gain on that pass completion. 1st down and 10. Still out of the shotgun. Wide receivers on the far side. Incomplete. Little footsteps heard over there. Good coverage put on as Ortiz turned, but he had Tyler Everett on him.
He's got to make that catch, though. You know, he caught a 12-yard pass last week, and I mean, it was just a spectacular catch. This one, he turns, and he was a little bit awkward turning around, but it did hit his hands. He's got to pull that down.
And we still have not seen the hurry-up offense that we thought for sure we would see in this football game from San Diego.
Yeah, and they were concerned about the crowd. I don't think the crowd's really been in this game like it was last week against Texas, which I guess is no surprise.
Ohio State with the lead. They fake it up the middle, little out near side. Was that completed? Yes. It's called a completed pass at the 46-yard line, scooped by Robert Ortiz right off the grass that time. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
There's no question Ortiz can make catches. I mean, he's a big-time player. This is low, bobbles it, pulls it into his chest. Good catch. Crowd didn't like it, but it never touched the ground.
Just the 2nd time the Aztecs have been into Ohio State territory.
And O'Connell finding a little bit of a rhythm here.
Yeah. He's got a big 3rd down here, though. It's 3rd down and a long 4. The out is incomplete. The receiver stopped running. Swain, there was a flag. That's why he stopped. Might even have been a whistle.
There was a whistle before the snap. This was some of the players heard it and some didn't. You see, he's just kind of jogging out there. He heard it and said, what are we doing here?
Looks like Will Robinson, 76, is going to be called for this on the procedure. Now he's trying to get the personnel in there that he wants on this 3rd down play that's even longer, 3rd and 10.
Now the crowd does get into it on 3rd and long. It's a football smart crowd. They understand the significance of this play.
2 minutes to go in the 3rd. San Diego State trying for that 1st down. Keep this drive alive. Fake. Big rush. Steps up. Gets hit and gets sacked. Mike Kudla kept driving everybody back into the pile, and no place for Kevin O'Connell to go.
Little play action. He's looking downfield. Tries to go through his progression, and Kudla came off that defensive end spot. Boy, he seems to have gotten quicker off the ball, and he read it immediately, fought through the outside shoulder of his block to make the sack.
Good job by the defense. Again, beware of any trick play here. Ginn is back to receive this punt. Michael Hughes, who's had a spectacular day kicking, not uncommon for him. He will put this away. Line drives it. Doesn't want a clear, easy carry. Ginn's got it. 15, 20. He can fly. 30. Oh, he just loves doing it. It'll be hard to find 2 people like Ginn and Holmes in college football who are any better at returning it. Let's go to John Saunders. John.
Gary, and the singular All-America Player of the Week update. Could it be Reggie McNeil of A&M, who had a big day? 80 yards here he goes to Irvin Taylor. 349 yards passing, 5 touchdown passes. He also ran for 100 yards and a touchdown. 66-8 is the final. Your singular All-America Player of the Week update. Text your vote to 87654 for a chance to go to the national championship game.
Now that's some offense, John. 42-yard kick and a 26-yard return. Ohio State again, good field position. They started 1st and 10. Pittman again on the carry and again trying to find a slant. And can't say enough about this Aztec defense. They are finding a way to shut it down.
Talk about turnovers, and of course Donnie Baker has been really, really strong in that category all day. If you just watch the top of your screen here, and we'll bring Donnie Baker into play as you look at the Chrysler passing playbook. Okay, they roll it. It's a little play action. Now, if you stop it right here, I'll show you that 1 white jersey, 2, 3, 4, 5 white jerseys around the ball, and he tries to squeeze it in there. It's a little bit high. Donnie Baker makes the pick. Turnover. San Diego State gets another one.
Great numbering there. That was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Over the middle, complete. Fumble. Ball is loose. No, they rule it incomplete. That was close. Brett Martin is the Aztec who put the hit on Roy Hall, who almost had a completion fumble, but nope, incomplete.
Well, here it is. You tell me. There's the ball. He takes 2 steps. That should have been a fumble.
That ball's caught.
Take another look. Catch. 1, 2, bam. How's that not a fumble? Ohio State gets a break.
Sure looked like it right there.
Watch this. He may have been bobbling it.
No. I'm with you.
It's a bang, bang play.
Bang, bang play. 9 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Out of the shotgun, great protection. Near side, incomplete at the 40-yard line. Again, just jumps up and down. He had a sideline of about 20 yards. of open green in front of him.
He knows he should have made the catch too. I mean, the ball was thrown well and a lot of velocity, but watch again, it's one of those that goes right through his hands. Oh my gracious, that's one of those ones he's reading headlines and not looking at the ball.
So Ohio State again unable to move the football. They're hanging on to a lead here, 17-6, but it is not pretty. They'll be kicking from the 25-yard line. High kick, Franklin back, and I mean a great kick. Takes an Ohio State bounce. Franklin's going to play it. A flag is down, and he will be down at the 14-yard line. Decide to play that one on the bounce. Antonio Smith getting back a 49-yard kick. We've had some tremendous punts. Both sides have really helped their defense with the kicking game. But now let's see what the flag is. It was the near sideline where it went down.
Holding on the return team, number 15. The penalty being half the distance to the goal. And when the kick ended, we'll have one untimed down. One untimed down.
DeMarco Sampson, the man who got called on the hold. That's about 4 of those that San Diego's had today.
One of the things, Gary, that makes Jim Tressel such a great coach is the fact that he's a field position type coach, and he certainly has won that battle here today. They've had San Diego State backed up all day long, and his offense has had terrific field position.
It has been their defense which has made the big difference in this football game for Ohio State, because the offense has had an enormous problem when they've got down into the red zone and on big third down plays, keeping drives alive. Have not been able to get it done. So it will be set up here for deep again for the offense of San Diego State. Try and move this football, and they now are running out of time. And that will be the end of the third quarter, as there are only 2 seconds left after that kick. Nope, they're going to not run it. An on-time down is going to be played here. So they get one shot at it. Pitch. Ooh, very late. Into the end zone for the 1-yard line. 1-yard line, Anthony Schlegel. And that one on-time down, they wish San Diego does, had never happened.
Game, set, match. Mental error. O'Connell hesitated for a second, then just kind of threw it.
1-yard line is where it will be spotted, and Ohio State a very big break.
Watch the hesitation here, looking for the pitch man. And that is backwards, which means it is a fumble, which means it is a touchdown.
Schlegel got it. Ohio State gets the football. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We go to the fourth, 17-6 Ohio State.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
He wishes he could have covered that one up, but that pitch was behind him, and Schlegel thought he had a touchdown. We'll take a look at that when we have a moment here. But the ball's going to be at the 1-yard line. Ohio State gets it first down and goal to start the fourth.
I think it'll be a moot point after this play.
Yeah. Gators in the backfield. Touchdown! Brandon Snichter comes in and gets the TD.
Expressions in body language tell you a lot, don't they?
It's a little retribution right there. He had fumbled the football on the goal line previously. This time he takes it in. Just an out for the extra point. And that one is up, and it is good. So the turnover by San Diego State. The big play right now in this game. Ohio State takes just one play to get on the board. 24-6 their lead. Welcome back, everybody. Here at the Horseshoe, the Ohio State fans who have been relatively quiet today, finally breathing a little easier with a 24-6 lead on that first play of the fourth quarter. Franklin and Amaral are back. Another big kick and out of the end zone. And again at the 20-yard line, San Diego State will start it. And the legs in this game, both punters and kickoffs, have been big time. Tonight, ESPN has a meeting of what some feel are the two top teams in the ACC. Florida State, the Seminoles, into Chestnut Hill for a showdown with BC. BC's making its ACC debut. College football primetime presented by Polaroid. ESPN tonight, 7:45 Eastern Time.
Here we are with 14:58 to play in the Horseshoe at Ohio State, and they're already chanting, "Bring on Iowa."
Next week.
Big Ten champ Iowa.
They'll get into it in the Big Ten. The goal, of course, that you have in all these conferences to get that conference lead, get to that conference championship game. A whistle. We've had motion 3 or 4 times called against San Diego today.
Prior to the snap, ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Still first down.
Just hope things don't start to go south now for San Diego State, because they've really played well. I mean, there's their 8th penalty. But, you know, you have a young quarterback like O'Connell who's played fairly well in the ball game today. And then he's got that big critical error down there that leads to the touchdown. And you don't want that to stunt his growth. I mean, his learning curve has been very, very quick. Don't want that to end.
He is a sophomore. He's got the job, learning how to do it. He's going to get decked inside the 5 by Bobby Carpenter, the linebacker. Carpenter getting in on a tackle. The senior will take him back to about the 4-yard line.
Bobby Carpenter's one of those linebackers on the strong side. He's strong enough to play head up. He's quick enough to cover the tight end. Here he comes on a little untouched blitz. One of those blitz packages.
Yardage now, and deep. 2nd down, 25. Slant in, caught at about the 12-yard line as they try and go for the first down here and give themselves a little room. Catch made by Schillens. We'll check in with John Saunders. John.
Gary, time for the Pontiac game-changing performance update. Might it be this one in Clemson in Miami? Kyle Wright, his team trailing, goes 8 yards to Quatron Hill for the touchdown. Nominate your Pontiac game-changing performance at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac. The Canes up by 3. Gary.
John, thanks very much. And a comeback lead right there. Fans up and cheering on this 3rd down and 18 for the defense, which has risen to the occasion today. And another flag goes down on the snap. You see him shaking his head.
Prior to the snap, I'll start. Offense, number 78.
Tom Kraft can't believe this.
It's a combination of the crowd and the blitzing defense. I mean, you back a team up like this, you make it 3rd down and a taxi ride for the offense, and Ohio State's defense is like chum to a shark. Guys are just swarming now and anxious to get in there, and it's causing guys to flinch.
That 24-6 lead, a little more room for them to be very aggressive on defense and a lot of noise. 3rd down, 23, 6-yard line. Who's split near side, run the draw. Not very far, a couple of yards on that one, and Anthony Schlegel again moved in. He's had a big second half. Brandon Bourne's on the carry. Schlegel recovered that fumble at the end of the 3rd that set up the touchdown for Ohio State to start the 4th quarter.
And again, you can have great field position for Ohio State. Again in Holmes at the 47-yard line.
Hughes back in his own end zone to try and kick this. And you've got Holmes and Ginn, 2 of the best returners in the game, standing back. That'll be taken at the 45-yard line. And a lot of room at the 30, 1 to beat at the 20, 15. Flag is down way back where Holmes first got it.
It's a block in the back by Ohio State, so it's not only a big break as far as where they start, they're going to move them back to the other side of the 50.
Amazing returners. I mean, you really can't say enough about Holmes and Ginn as to what they do. Santonio Holmes had 109 yards in kickoff returns against Texas. Ted Ginn last year.
On the return team, number 3, 10-yard penalty in the spot of the foul. First down.
Ginn last year had 15 punt returns for 384 yards and a new record here at Ohio State with 4 touchdowns. I mean, that changes the whole complexion of football games.
Boy, does it ever.
And these two guys, if you do not keep the ball away from them, it's almost impossible to stop them with less than a 15 or 20-yard return. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Pontiac. Go online to nominate your Pontiac game-changing performance. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. Pacific Life for insurance, annuities, and investments. Choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. With Tim Brandt, Susie Schuster, I'm Gary Thorne. Ohio State's got the lead in the ball. And that'll be hauled down after about a 1-yard gain, as Maurice Wells coming on to play, taken down by Andrew Shantz.
Gary, let's take a look at the IBM Star Watch, and certainly the big conversation piece here in Columbus all week long was the starting quarterback for Ohio State, Troy Smith. He gets his first start in 2005, and folks, he puts on a clinic. If you look at this, 13 of 24 passing, 142 yards, rushing yards, 79 and 2 touchdowns, and so a big day for Troy Smith. He also has made the defense be very conscious of where he is all the time, and it has been costly for San Diego State.
And he's played every snap here. Back again, Smith looking deep, and that's what he's done all day. When there's been coverage, he'll run the football. He will be taken down at the 45-yard line as he moves into San Diego territory. Mays on the hit, a 7-yard gain.
The thing about him, too, is he's very elusive. You know, if he doesn't find an open receiver in a heartbeat, then he's going to tuck it and go. They wanted to be more disciplined. They wanted to spend more time going through his progression. But today, by just tucking it and running with it, he's picked up the bulk of the yardage, and he's been very, very successful doing that. It's tough to tell a guy. You got to be more disciplined when he's dominating the game.
He is doing that, and clearly that's going to be their starting quarterback, as Jim Tressel had hoped for the foreseeable future, at least.
Thing about him, and when we spent time with him yesterday, he's built like a linebacker, 6'4", 225 pounds.
158-7 the yardage on the ground. There's Wells again. Wells going to be caught in the backfield and will be thrown for a loss, maybe, depending on the spot. Andrew Shantz, a couple of tackles of late, and Grigsby moving in from the safety position with the hit. San Diego State defense has played a lot of football today, but they are not turning away. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 1. The fans want Ohio State to go for it, but Ohio State doesn't want to take any chances of field position here if anything goes wrong, so they will punt the football again.
You know, Gary, you think of Jackson and Jermaine, but Ohio State has always been a 1-quarterback team, and they want the ball in one guy's hands. They don't want to be alternating like they were last week against Texas.
Yeah. Trapasso back to do the kicking at his own 45. Fair catch called for. That's a tough one. The 11-yard line. You can't get much closer than that and not be in the receiver's arms.
Guys flying around him.
But he held on to it after that 34-yard punt. And as has happened for this entire game, the Aztec offense deep in their own territory to start. Darren Mugi, the backup quarterback, has come on now for San Diego as the Aztecs with 10:05 left to go. Start this series with a new quarterback. 1st and 10, again deep in their own territory. Mugi floats one far side. One-on-one tackle made at the 13-yard line. That was Ortiz. He tried to run, and Malcolm Jenkins said none of that. Nickelback put him away.
Mugi is a 6'5", 220-pound redshirt freshman. He's an Arizona kid. They wanted to get him some reps in the ball game today, but I don't think they expected to put him in here down 24-6 with 9:40 to play. Bottom line is, Mugi and O'Connell battled all the way for this starting job, and it was given to O'Connell, who has, as you said, had the 5 starts last year, a little bit more experience, but they think Mugi is a big-time talent.
2nd down and 7. Devin O'Connell will watch from the sideline here. That ball spotted up at the 14-yard line. Mugi, one drop back and shy of the 1st down, out of bounds at about the 18. That's Hamilton out of the backfield that time. Malcolm Jenkins moved in and put the hit on. Time permitting, the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report with John Craig and Aaron will be coming up. Stay tuned. All the day's highlights and scores from some key matchups, some big football games going on. That's coming up in our Thrifty car rental post-game report.
You ask him about Darren Moogie and what's the difference between O'Connell and Moogie, and the coaches will say, well, he's stronger.
Moogie here in a 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Ohio State defense made it tough. This is the alley-oop lob. It's going to be out of bounds and incomplete. Coverage over there by Nate Sally, the free safety. And let's check in again with John Saunders. John.
Well, Gary, Oklahoma fell down 20-10 to UCLA, but then Adrian Peterson looks like the Adrian Peterson from a year ago. Hard fighting for the yards, 10 for the touchdown, and the lead is down to 20-17. The 3rd quarter still underway. Gary.
Best part of that, John, is to see that after that high ankle sprain he suffered, that he's playing regularly and well. Another kick coming, this one from the 7-yard line. Up to midfield. Ginn. I think if you gave Ginn and Holmes a choice in football of doing anything, they'd be punt and kickoff returners first. They just love it out there, and one of the roughest parts of the game. 42-yard punt, a 17-yard return. Ohio State with the football in the lead. The Horseshoe here at Ohio State as they look for the victory, coming off that 3-point loss to Texas last week, up 24-6, their number 9 ranking coming into this game. And with the other games going on, a chance for Ohio State perhaps to even move up a little bit. Smith rolling, looking near side flats. That's going to be completed, and no run after that at the 44-yard line. Again, got it.
Pacific Life game summary, a lot of short touchdowns for Ohio State. San Diego State wanted to avoid the big play. Here's Smith, little short run, 14 yards, dives in, bang. Then the quarterback sneak from 1. He read that they were split, nobody over the center. Smith sneaks in. Turn around, give it to Schnitger from the 1-foot line. He bangs in. Those are your scores. So no real long big plays that have killed San Diego State today.
Longest play, San Diego State had it on that first play of the game. An 80-yard touchdown pass for the only points they have up on the board. Wells again on the carry. Look at that little run. Takes it inside the 25-yard line down to about the 23. Marcus Demps on the hit. Marcus Wells, Maurice Wells never thought he was going to get that much playing time today, but he's had some touches.
5'10", 190-pound true freshman, parade All-American. Look at him. Reading blocks extremely well. They were zone blocking up there. He just has to find the hole, go against the grain, and explode, which he did.
Little help in that tailback position if he could play like this when they get into conference play. He's still in the football game and has it. Gets tripped up. Little tackle right off the shoelaces again. Keaho is in. He's had a ton of tackles today. He's going for a record here for the Aztecs in tackles.
Boy, what a great game he's played too. You know, San Diego State's defense had a tough time stopping Maurice Drew of UCLA. They had a tough time stopping Jacob Kendrick of Air Force. But today they came in and they were looking to stop the running attack of Pittman and Schnitger and now Wells, and they've been fairly effective.
Getting it done. They've had to play a lot of this football game. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and a 10. Good field position. Smith looking. Little dump, and that's incomplete. Turned around Holmes, and he couldn't hang on to it. Let's get out on the field. Susie.
Well, Gary, all this time the defense is spending on the field is taking its first toll. Brett Martin on the ground right now with cramps, having some Gatorade, getting stretched out, but it's all that time he's spent in there trying to tackle this OSU offense. That's
because the San Diego offense, Susie, has had 13 possessions, and only twice have they had more than 3 plays. That is 3 and out for an entire football game. A 3rd down and 10. And a quarterback keeps going nowhere.
Crowd doesn't like that call.
Jonathan Bales put the hit on. We were saying to you, they're going to come away with a win here today, but I got a feeling the talk is not going to be all that positive about the performance of Ohio State. Now, a win's a win, and I do not take that away from them.
And there'll be some fans that say, well, they didn't want to show too much because they've got a Big Ten game next week against Iowa, the Big Ten champs. But I'm not sure that's the case. I just think they're trying to find themselves offensively and haven't been able to do it.
39-yard field goal will be attempted. Josh Houston of Ohio State puts that one up and puts that one through. And if they do have a successful season, that kicker is going to be a big part of it. The field goal surrendered. It is now 27-6. Ohio State on top here in the fourth. TV Guide calls Invasion TV's best new drama. Something is happening to this family that will change their lives in ways they never imagined, and it's not what you think. Invasion. It begins Wednesday night at 10, 9 Central. It follows the season premiere of Lost on ABC. Ohio State 27-6 lead here at home. Houston will be kicking it off. He's given San Diego State no chance to run things back as he's driven that football either through the end zone or deep into it. He does it again here, and again it'll be the 20-yard line.
You know, there are going to be some people out there saying, what are you guys talking about? The offense is out of sync. They've scored 27 points. Well, that's all well and good, but if you look at what's happened to San Diego State this year, where they gave up 40-some points to UCLA, 40-some points to Air Force, you surely expect Ohio State to come in and score big-time points. And so far, just 27.
Yep.
And one of the touchdowns was a 1-yard drive, too.
After that fumble that was recovered at the 1-yard line by Ohio State. They've taken advantage of San Diego State's cough-ups.
A gift from O'Connell.
That's right. He hesitated on the pitch. San Diego State with a football first and 10 up to the 26-yard line, and you could hear the hit on that one. Ouch. Somebody got a helmet down right on the pads that time as Darren Moogie, the quarterback.
Whoa. Put your eyeballs back in your forehead and rattle the fillings.
So you wanted to play this game, huh? A gain of about 6 on that. A 2nd down and 4. Second series the backup quarterback has been in on. Looking to the sideline. Great coverage. Nobody open, and throws it at the 30-yard line. And that's out of bounds. Tried to hang on to it over there. DeMarco Sampson, the freshman receiver, but he was out of bounds. It'll be an incomplete pass and bring up another 3rd down. And this is the way it's gone all day for the Aztec offense.
Moogie looks pretty good, though. He's very mobile. They're rolling him so he can't take a sack. He's outside the tackle box. Just throw it away if they're covered.
Longest run from the line of scrimmage has been Moogie's 6-yard run. That's
see what I mean?
Amazing, huh? You're right. He's been the one. The bells are tolling for the defense here at Ohio State on another 3rd down. 3rd down and 4. Moogie on the slant. Receiver pushed his man away, but it's incomplete anyway. Tried to get a little breathing room over there on the shove. It was Marcus Edwards. And Edwards still couldn't come up with it. He's got the clean jersey. He just came in for a series.
Good defense man covers by Ubode. He was right on him.
It'll be another 3 and out coming here. On a 4th down and 4. Punt will come from about the 10-yard line. Michael Hughes goes back to do the kicking. He is just a sophomore, and as we said, came into the day 9th in the nation in punting average at 45 yards, and he's kept that up here today. Puts a foot into it and fair catch will be called for and taken at the 35-yard line. So another good job. Holmes on it, and we'll check in again with John Saunders.
Well, Gary, Oklahoma may be about to drop to 1 and 2 because UCLA's Drew Olson goes 19 yards to Mercedes Lewis for a touchdown. No one near him, and a 10-point lead now with just over 12 minutes left in the game. 27-17. Gary, back to you.
Upsets.
Well, look at the numbers by Drew Olson. 25 of 34. He's been sharp all 3 games now that he's played, and they think Ben Olson, who is now in there with a broken thumb and waiting to play, could even be a better quarterback than Drew. But Drew he's having an outstanding season. He's going to be tough to get out of there.
We get Justin Zwick, who's come in at quarterback now. So Troy Smith is out of there, and Zwick, who ran 7 series last week against Texas, works out of the shotgun on the screen to the 34-yard line. Good heads-up tackle on the coverage that time. San Diego State will see some of the bench players now coming on for the Buckeyes. There are the numbers for Zwick on the year.
Gary, on this defensive series, here's what we want to do. We want to watch Freddie Kiahu who has 18 tackles today. The Aztec record is 21 by Alan Dale and Ty Youngs, and it looks like Keoho is in a pretty good spot to break that record.
And those were the numbers last week, not on the season that Zwick has had. That's the numbers he had against Texas in that 7 series that he played. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. No gain on the first one. Near side, that'll be completed at the 39-yard line. Roy Hall hauled it in, and not enough for the first down, and a 3rd down and about 5. Zwick out there in the 9 for 15, 66 yards against Texas in the 7th series. Smith, the starter, solid day to day. There are the numbers for Troy Smith.
Very solid indeed. But I guarantee you Iowa's going to watch this tape, and they're going to have a linebacker that's watching him and make him throw. They want him to throw the football.
Be a 3rd down and 5. Ohio State trying to keep possession here under the shotgun. Zwick. Little flare carried to the first down marker and beyond. That's Eric Haw getting his first chance here in the 4th quarter to come in and play. A 6-yard gain, and Haw picks up the first down.
One thing you know, when Zwick comes in, you're going to get more passing than running. They also spread the field, and he wants to give his guys a chance by putting them out in open space and make it a 2-on-1 or 2-on-2 ball game rather than 11-on-11. He does that with that swing pass, nicely set up. They get the first, move the chains. Good play by Zwick.
Standing by, John Craig and Aaron, our thrifty car rental post-game report. If we have time, we'll bring you up to date on all the scores and show you the highlights. 1st down and 10. Ball up to the 46-yard line. Zwick, no step on that one. Quick toss, and that'll take it into San Diego territory. Completed at the 44-yard line. Anthony Gonzalez, the sophomore, over to get it. Zwick rifling the football around here.
Does a nice job with it too. He releases it quickly. He's not sitting back there trying to read. He goes and he reads quickly. He's decisive. He throws it on a rope. 4 for 4 so far for Justin Zwick.
He's had 30 out of 42 on the season now with 1 touchdown pass. Pretty good ratio.
Sure. How can you complain about that?
Short yardage situation. 2nd down and 2. As they are into San Diego State territory, over the middle, that'll be completed, and down to the 32-yard line. Nice 360 turn made right there. Zwick's pass was on the money. Brian Robisky, a 14-yard gain on the catch.
5 for 5 for Justin Zwick. And I can hear the radio talk shows now.
Why didn't you start Zwick? It's a lot different coming in the 4th when you're up 27-6, right? Robisky with a nice catch and a 1st down. And they're staying in this shotgun. They obviously want to give Justin Zwick a chance to throw the football here. 5 for 5 so far. Again, the quick step, 6 for 6. Taken down at the 33, and the ooze there. Brandon Smith, a freshman, tight end on that one. Ohio State getting some of their backup players in with 2:26 left to go in the 4th quarter. So the Aztecs are going to go 0-3 at the start, and a tough start with a tough schedule. Ohio State will get the win and go 2-1, and then get back into Big Ten play next week at home.
A whale of a football game too. Iowa upset by Iowa State, but keep in mind now, people call that a big upset, but Iowa State were the co-champs in the Big 12 playing the Big Ten champs Iowa.
2nd down and 9. To the short side, completed, and we'll see where the spot is on it. Gain of a couple of yards to Roy Hall. 7 for 7 since coming on at quarterback. This is what Ohio State's been talking about as far as getting everyone into the game. Jim Tressel's trying desperately to get the 4 good receivers he has and a couple of good running backs, enough touches so they all have an impact.
You know, some people say that if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1 quarterback. And that's not really the case here, because, you know, you had Zwick miss all those games with that bad ankle last year. That's when Troy Smith came in. Then he got suspended, and then Zwick came back. And, I mean, it's been one of those deals where you had to have them both.
3rd down and 4. Zwick on the quick handoff, and that will be carried near the 1st down marker. That's Eric Haw, who has caught a couple of passes and now carries out of the backfield and gets the 1st down.
High snap, good play by Zwick. Make that thing work.
Eric Haw is a freshman from Columbus, 6'1", 212-pounder. He's a running back. We've seen him work as a slot man and flanker as well here. Nice job as he gets a chance. 1 minute left to go. First downs 20-3 in favor of Ohio State as they have dominated the possession time and first downs. Out of the shotgun, Zwick into the end zone. That'll be incomplete. Trying for the TD to Hall. Pretty good coverage back there by Donnie Baker, who's had a tremendous game.
Zwick's first miss, and I want to tell you something. He had Tony Gonzalez wide open. Watch Tony Gonzalez kind of slide right out here into the flat, and he'll be wide open, and Zwick never looks at him. Okay, there's not a soul over there on him. And if you hit him, he's got a shot at a touchdown.
That's where, if you're Gonzalez, you might come back and say to your quarterback, you might want to run that again. I was wide open. Not necessarily right now. Go to the short side on the crisscross and down at the 16-yard line. And the reception by Brandon Smith, yet another freshman.
Of course, it's a lot easier for us to see it up here than he's seen it down there with guys flying around him.
When you got 270-pound, 6'6" lineman in front of you, all of a sudden it's not so wide open, is it?
And he's 7 for 8. We're not criticizing it. We're just pointing out that Gonzo was open.
It'll bring up another third down. Third down and 5. Clock ticking with 10 seconds left. Completed and down at about the 11-yard line. Again, nowhere to go. Smith gets it, and that should do it. And it wasn't easy as the Aztecs put up a battle here, but it is over, and Ohio State wins it 27-6. Our Chevrolet players of the game. The quarterback, as Troy Smith came on and did a tremendous job for Ohio State. Freddie Keaho, a great defensive day tackling in recognition. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Well, when you look at what San Diego State expected here today, I don't think it's any big surprise. They knew what they were up against. Tom Kraft just wanted his team to perform admirably. They certainly did that, especially the defense.
38 more plays were run by the offense of Ohio State than the Aztecs. That took care of it. They win it by a score of 27-6. Special Monday night doubleheader coming up. Don't forget it. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. John, Craig, and Aaron are standing by. On behalf of Timmy, Susie Schuster, and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Good day.
Gary, thanks a lot. Buckeyes with the win, but we've got what could be a very exciting finish in a game between Pittsburgh and Nebraska. Nebraska has just missed a field goal that would have put them up 10-6. 7-6 is their lead right now with about 30 seconds remaining. Bonus coverage. Let's take you out. Cornhusker land.
For those of you in Columbus, been watching the Buckeyes win one, 27-6 with Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. Nebraska hanging on for dear life. Pittsburgh with the ball, 34 seconds to go. Out of timeouts, 3rd and 1 for Tyler Palko and the Panthers. Palko with time, incomplete, broken up at midfield as Daniel Bullocks, the other one of the twins with Josh Bullocks, playing for the New Orleans Saints. Daniel Bullocks, who stole the ball last week against Wake Forest and dashed in for a touchdown, makes this 4th and 1 for Pittsburgh.
Ball needs to be thrown to the outside. You can see the corners to the outside. They're falling off on anything. The opening on the play, on the prevent, is in the middle of the field.
Gonna have at least a first down here, Gary.
It's
with
only
28
a yard.
seconds to go.
You only need a yard.
Palko's a decent runner. They jam the middle. He's got the first down, though. He stops that clock, and now they've got to move quickly.
And they can get up and just spike the ball now. Downs are not a problem. Get up and spike the ball, where they got 2 calls in the huddle.
First down and 10. Wanstead's team is ready to go. From the gun. Wind is at the back. Sideline incomplete.
It's just not there. Sidelines are not there. That's where all of the Nebraska defenders are. You got to throw the ball down the middle, and you have to throw it at least first down plays.
17 seconds to go. Josh Cummings is Dave Wanstead's kicker.
Got to get a crossing route about 18 yards. Down about the 40, 35-yard line is the target area.
Green, the converted running back, has lead. Matched up down at the bottom of your screen. You can see
right there is
the safety is also keeping an eye over there. Palko has to check Lee. Slips away from pressure. Fires deep. Got it. Del Sardo. That'll stop the clock inside the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh's giving themselves a chance. 9 seconds on the clock. Now Palco will stop it after the 26-yard gain. They will send Cummings in.
Easy.
Stops the clock right there with 7 seconds to go. Cummings is 2 for 4. Had his first one blocked.
That's the area that you throw against to prevent. With 3-man rush, you just be right up into the pocket. You can't cover the middle of the field like that with linebackers. And if you complete one 15-yarder, you're in field goal range. Now, if it was a 7-point game, there it is right there. That's where you need to run the ball, right in the middle of the field. When you're right up into the pocket, that gives you time to come to the inside, and there's that opening to throw the ball right on the X in the field.
Josh Cummings hit a 49-yarder against Notre Dame. This one is 47 with the wind at his back. Grassel, the punter. Nebraska will use one of it. Try to freeze him up here a little bit. Grassel, the punter, over there to talk to him. And Josh Cummings was 3 of 3 coming into the game, 2 of 4 here today. And Gary, you think that the prevent was a huge mistake on Nebraska's part?
No doubt. They have not been able to block the defensive ends and the pass rush all game. You don't need to rush 5 or 6, but a 4-man rush with Wally Muhammad and Barry Turner was the strategy. Now, Brent, if it was a 7-point game and they needed a touchdown, I would buy into it, but not a field goal. You only got to get the ball to the 35-yard line.
Well, today's Chevrolet players of the game, and there were candidates galore defensively. There's Darrell Revis, the young sophomore corner for Pittsburgh. Adam Carricker, one of the defensive ends that Gary was referring to, the edge rushers who did such a good job. And now it has come down to the kickers. Josh Cummings. Mark Estemeyer is the snapper for Pittsburgh. The punter, Adam Grassel, will put it down. And Cummings will attempt to send Pittsburgh
timeout number 2.
A winner. And number 2 gets used here.
Now, you would think, if you're Nebraska, do you keep one timeout in case you have 1 play left? Probably not enough time to make any difference, does it?
But they blocked, missed that 49-yarder, 38 and 27. He has made the only points on the board. And this one is a 47-yarder that he'll get a chance to kick.
And it was number 99, Barry Turner, that blocked it last time. They will push from the right side again and then jump and leap on the play. Bill Callahan is calling those timeouts from the sideline, standing right next to the official.
Josh is out of New Hill, California. He came to Pittsburgh from JC, the College of the Canyons, out in California. He helped that team to an 11-1 record. They went to the semifinals of a very tough Southern California JC league. Here's a chance to send Pittsburgh home with a W. An upset win in Lincoln, Nebraska. With 7 seconds left on the clock. Here comes the 47-yarder. Grassel will put it down. High snap. Throws it. Nebraska survives. A bad snap. It went right to Cummings. Wanstead says, hold on, that's a first down.
No, it wasn't. He gets another down. It was only second down. He has another opportunity, another play. There's still 1 second to go.
So it was a planned play.
No, I don't think so. No.
It was such a high snap.
The center snapped it when I don't think the holder was ready for it. He was looking back at the field goal kicker, and the ball was snapped before he put his hand out. He never saw the ball.
Exactly.
And a perfect play by the kid, not to run it here,
Cummings.
just throw it by Cummings.
Saved the moment.
Absolutely.
By throwing the ball.
Now you wonder, can they go up on the clock?
Folks, huh?
1 second left.
1 second left.
Now, this was all chance. Nobody thought of it.
Is this a goofy game or what?
Now, I wonder if you can review whether the play actually took more than 7 seconds. Watch it. There you can see Grassley. He's not even looking, and the ball is snapped. Hits him in the helmet, I think, right as it goes.
Wow.
Yes, it does. And happens to bounce to him.
It's not the holder's fault.
No, absolutely
He is
not.
to hold his hands and say, go. The snapper fired it before he was supposed to. Now the coaches,
right? But here's another thing, Brent.
On the field.
Well, the Nebraska coaches are arguing that nobody went out for a pass, and it should have been intentional grounding. Okay, because if you see anybody go out for a pass for Pittsburgh, there's nobody out there. He throws it. Why is that not intentional grounding?
And he wasn't outside.
Not outside the box. And I'm telling you, Nebraska still may get this ball.
1 second for coming. You better believe that Eskemeyer will pay attention this time.
Well,
now watch Brassel as he gets ready. 46-yarder. Nebraska will win it. Finally, Callahan smiles. Wanstead's kicking game comes up 2 of 5. The special teams, the kicking game, the difference. Cummings has 2 blocked. And Nebraska wins it. It wasn't pretty, but they'll take it.
Yeah, it was downright ugly. I think it was Adam Ickles, number 49, that came around the corner. Or was it Mark LaFleur? I think it was Ickles, 49, that got his hand on that right through the middle of that place again. A comedy of errors.
Jackaroo, take it away.
Well, Coach, first of all, congratulations. But tell me what went through your mind when you saw a second opportunity for a field goal by Pittsburgh.
Well, I knew it was an early down. They had another chance. I thought they were going to call an intentional grounding out there. But we practice this every day, Jack. Full speed, hard and live every day. I'm really proud of our kids and the effort that they gave in those 2 attempts.
Let's talk about your offense, though. Where do you have to go? Let's not.
We got a long ways to go. I really felt that in the 4-minute drill here where we were trying to stall the ball, they did an excellent job. We just didn't convert on that last series. But we got a long ways to go yet.
3-0, congratulations.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
That's an understatement. One last look at the second blocked field goal. And Cornhusker fans are saying, thank goodness for the defense and the kicking team. Once again, our final score, 7-6. Nebraska now 3-0. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Carbonell postgame report after this from our ABC station. So long, everybody.